The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of wearecolerain.com and do not necessarily represent those of Colerain High School, the Colerain Boosters, or the Northwest Local School District. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy tonight's broadcast. Welcome to Fairfield High School's football field here between two elementary schools. It's Chris Emenitis along with Brian and Brandon White here at Fairfield High School, where your Colerain Cardinals are going to be battling the Fairfield Indians tonight in what is, in my estimation at least, the biggest GMC contest for our Cardinals in quite some time. We're so happy to have you joining us here tonight. The Colerain Cardinals come in tonight's contest after a riveting 38-13 victory last week over Lakota East. They are 5-2 on the season, 5-0, undefeated in conference, riding a very impressive, very almost improbable 64-game consecutive GMC winning streak. They're going to take on the Fairfield Indians. This is a team in Fairfield, and we'll talk about them in here just in a minute in terms of specifics. But coming into the season, we knew that Fairfield and Mason were going to be the two schools that were going to contend for the GMC championship and give Colerain a real, concrete run for their money. Well, fortunate enough this year already to have played and beaten Mason. Now comes the next and, quite frankly, the last real big test on the schedule with Lakota West next week and Oak Hills in Week 10. Both those teams combining, I think, for only one win at this point in the season. Can't imagine there's going to be a real challenge, but tonight, make no mistake, this is a challenge. This is a team that is number one in the GMC in offense. They are number one in the GMC in defense. They are, if you look at them statistically and were to take off the name Fairfield and you looked at the numbers, you'd think it was Colerain, because they are playing that well and that good. And make no mistake, if the Cardinals are not on their game tonight, if they start slow, if they don't cause turnovers but give turnovers, they're going to find themselves looking on the wrong end of the scoreboard tonight. That's how good this Fairfield team is. So it's going to be a fantastic game. We could not be more excited. Brian, Brandon, I don't know whether you can tell, but I am pumped up. Brian, what do you think?
Well, I try not to overthink before the game, Chris. I'll let you do all that. But
I don't think you've ever been accused of overthinking anything, yeah, Brian. That's why we love you.
But you're absolutely correct. This is a test. You know, Colerain on their 64-game winning streak with the one loss in between, but they also had a huge streak before that. So, I mean, it's a monster game, and as you said, this is a school that's very similar. It's a little bit larger than Colerain, but very similar in demographics. You're going to see this about the same size school, about the same size students. Well, at least for a couple of them. We'll talk about the individual players as we get going on. But this is a big game, and it is, as I said, when we play at another team's facility, we get their best game. We get, as Coach Bolton said, their Super Bowl. So we said the Fairfield Indians coming here at 5-2 also, and 5-0 in the league. Losses to Centerville and Northmont to start the game, and then they won on a run. Lakota West, Lakota East, Princeton, Sycamore, and Oak Hills. They're as hot streak as Colerain Cardinals, and be truly a test for the ages.
Couple formalities out of the way. As by OHSAA rules, no live game action. 408 games. Also, the visiting side press box is a very poor angle to the scoreboard, so we have some athletic tape holding the camera at as best an angle as we could get. It looks like it's in the window. It's actually hanging slightly outside the window, the best angle we could get with the tools available. So all you will get was the scoreboard, unfortunately, tonight.
Yeah,
you only get about
80% of it, maybe?
80% of the scoreboard. But most importantly, you will have the time and the scores for each team. We'll do our best to remember to tell you. You'll have the distance and the yard lines. No down. We'll try to keep you up as best as we can. We will be able to see the marker on the field.
And we couldn't do any of this without our corporate sponsors. So for the first time and not for the last time of the evening, we'll thank our corporate sponsors for the Colerain High School Booster Association, Air Pest Control, Fast Signs, Friedhoff Accounting, Friendship Baptist Church, Holding Realtors, Joseph Toyota Cincinnati, Langdon Meats and Fine Wine, La Rosa's, Life Touch, Long Schaefer and Company, Northwest Association of Educators, Queen City Running, Supercuts, Thrivent Financial with Susan Bennett, Underground Sports Shop, The Cardinal Corner, Valley Metalworks, Kona Ice, Midwest Stonescapes, Quaker Steak, Plato's Closet, Game On Sports Ball, and a special thanks to Joe Capel's Landscaping for their incredible work that they've done around the school with the new landscaping and tree trimming. And remember, the boosters have a 10% off card that can be used all school year at Joe Capel's Landscape Garden just across the street from the Cheviot entrance of Colerain High School.
And, again, we'd love to hear from all of our listeners. If you'd like to reach us in the booth, you can reach us either at the email address or radio@wearecolerain.com or directly in the live chat of the YouTube stream. And also remind kindly everyone of an extra special thing with the YouTube partnership we have in the top right-hand corner of your screens.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we mentioned this last week and every week, and we don't belabor it throughout the whole broadcast, but I definitely want to bring it up now and probably at least 200 or 300 times remaining of the night. No, I'm kidding. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little widget, a little circle with an eye in it. If you click on that, you'll see this nice little window pop up, and it'll give you the opportunity to donate to the Colerain Boosters. It's super easy. It's online. It literally will take you no more than a minute to complete. And we do that not as a long-term commitment, but more as a, hey, if you like the fact that you can listen to and sometimes watch the Colerain football games on Friday nights, absolutely free of charge. And trust me, there are many schools and many platforms that allow schools to charge in order to see and hear their high school sports. We won't do that. We will never do that. For us, it's about community. So we ask you to maybe think thoughtfully about, hey, can I afford to bypass a Starbucks coffee or maybe a meal out and offer up 10, 15, even $5 to the Colerain Boosters for what they do? If you can, click on that widget. Or 5,000, but I'm not. If you'd like to donate that, we'd like to get you some very special recognition, and you can send an email to info or membership at ColerainBoosters.com.
If you donate $5,000 by the end of this game, I will make sure next week you have Chris's headset on.
Well, that is incredibly generous of you and completely unplanned, and I wasn't prepared.
And we want to make this clear. The last time we'll harp on it, it's a completely 100% goes to the Colerain Boosters. It's a corporate social responsibility effort by YouTube, a division of Google. They take care of all the processing, so it goes 100% of that donation does
That's
go
right. You donate $20. That's a great call out, Brandon. You donate $25 to the Boosters. $25 gets processed by YouTube and Google and comes to the Colerain Boosters. They don't take anything off the top.
And just a reminder, the Boosters aren't just about athletics. All extracurricular activities at Colerain High School, Colerain Middle, and White Oak. You're talking show cards, chess team, academic quiz team. Everything happens at Colerain Avenue is sponsored by the Colerain Boosters.
Although the GMC conference would like to argue that chess and academic quiz team are both athletic events. They're in the GMC athletic.
Brian, you're going to run through this Fairfield. Let's talk about some of these dynamic players we're going to see tonight for Fairfield, both offense and defense. By the way, loaded with D1 talent.
Well, and you know what? And we'll talk about that D1 talent first. Jackson Carmen. He's a senior, 6'6", 340 pounds. He's the #1 offensive lineman, not only in the city, not only in the state, but he's the #1 offensive lineman recruit in the nation. Jackson Carmen, number 74. They're led by junior quarterback Jeff Tyus. An athletic, he is a basketball player.
Yeah, he played AAU basketball with linebacker Luke Bolden for the Colerain Cardinals.
Struggled early, but he's found his stride. He's He's second in the GMC with 883 yards passing, 7 TDs with only 3 interceptions. He's also run the ball for 310 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back to watch for Juthan McLean, 577 yards and 8.1 average, and he has 5 TDs. Tamir Boykin, the senior, 58 rushes, 263 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Fairfield Indians, number 1, Chico Robinson, 24 receptions, a 10.9-yard average and 2 touchdowns, but also tight end Eric All. Don't forget about him. He also has 24 receptions from the tight end position, 301 yards. That's a 12.5 average and 3 TDs. This offense, 358 yards, total yards per game, number 1 in the GMC. They rush for 232 yards a game behind that big offensive line. Truly a test for the Colerain front today. They pass. They're 4th in the GMC with 126 yards passing, and they score 28.3 points per game, 3rd in the GMC.
So that's a rundown of the Fairfield Indians. Absolutely no doubt about it.
And here's the thing that we'll talk about with the Fairfield offense. The knock on Jackson Carmen is that he's the biggest, baddest guy out there, but he doesn't give 100%.
All the time.
All the time. He really doesn't like the Colerain Cardinals, and I guarantee you he will be going 100% all the time tonight.
He did last time we played him. If you recall, there was a couple of penalty flags thrown, and I think he got into it with Coach Bolden, didn't he, on the sideline? If I recall correctly, was that Colerain?
He was very close to an ejection.
Yeah, so
we can't talk about them, the offensively, without talking about their defense, too.
They're good.
I think their best player, everybody talks about Jackson Carmen. Number 1, the best player, I think, on the field tonight, Malik Van. He has already signed with UC, wasn't it?
Yes,
defensive end, 4 sacks on the year, 23. He was a big disruption as a sophomore when he played, and he's only gotten bigger since the last time we played.
Agreed.
Speed off the ball, strength. He is a Division I prospect, and with this inexperienced first-year starters on this offensive line, which everybody this time of year shouldn't be considered a first-year starters because we're that deep. Malik Van will be a handful tonight.
And he was one of those super sophomores a couple years ago when Coach Bowen says that kid, if he ever gets it, is going to get it, and he's got it this year. He's finally learned to turn that switch and hey, I'm not just bigger than everybody. I got to play on a different level, different speed.
And he has that reputation from what I've heard from the coaching staff. Great in the classroom, great in the locker room, and all-out just effort guy. So.
High motor guy, yeah.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me, honestly, a lot of T. Gray Scales. He's got a little bit more of the physical maybe attributes of T. Gray, but he's also very high motor.
But let's not kid ourselves. We can talk about offense on Colerain. We talk about defense. The past 3 meetings here, no one has scored a lot of points. Fairfield has struggled mightily on offense, and it's been 1 or 2 scores by Colerain. Last year, it was 7-0 going into the 3rd quarter. Very close, tight ball game. But Fairfield really couldn't get anything going offensively. Set up some short fields that allowed Colerain to open it up. Really key, I think, for this game is for Fairfield is to establish some sort of offensive rhythm, because the past few times they play the Cardinals, they have not been able to do so.
Absolutely.
And I think first-year starter at quarterback, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I think the key to the game is getting to him. Get in his face, rattling, hit him. Play to the whistle. Just let him know you're there. Try to get him off his game as a first-year quarterback, a converted basketball player. Not a lot of experience right there, and this will be a test and a very big game for that young man.
About 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go here before kickoff. The Cardinals are walking onto the field. Again, as a reminder, due to Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, because we are the visiting team and the visiting broadcast crew, we can't show you live action tonight, and we apologize. This is the absolute, believe it or not, best view we can get of the scoreboard for you. And it used to be on the other corner of the stadium, and they've moved it after some multi-million-dollar renovations here at Fairfield, so we'll be sure and give you as many updates as we can.
The other thing is we try to move it around to give you some semblance, like, hey, here's non-play action. We have this thing, taped into a spot just to be able to get the angle.
I'm going to take a picture of it. I'll tweet it out here in a minute, which, by the way, let me do as a quick reminder to you as the Cardinals run onto the field. As a reminder, they did win the coin toss and deferred, so they will be kicking off to start off this game. They're in their white tops and their black bottoms, led by senior quarterback Gunnar Leyendecker. This is the biggest game of the year for this team since the St. X game, no question about it. We're going to see exactly how far along they've come.
We do have one injury of note.
I just saw that myself, Brandon.
Outside linebacker, defensive end, Eric Phillips is in street clothes.
So that he left the game last week early against Lakota East. Suited up, started, and then I think hurt himself again, that shoulder. The good news is I don't see him in a sling. So the good news is he's probably just rehabbing. That's a loss because he is a real good pressure. You just talked about it, Brandon, wanting to put pressure on this young quarterback. Eric Phillips was the kind of guy that could do that.
Yeah, and we don't know the extent of his injury, but Brandon, you're familiar with shoulder injuries. A lot of times there's not a lot of structural damage. You've exposed the nerve. That's probably why it's not in a sling or anything, but it's just healing enough to deal with the pain. Because in a season like this, it's like you've heard the dreaded high ankle sprain.
Yep.
Well, the same thing with the shoulder. You get a stinger in there, it's not going to go away. It's just how you manage the pain. And, they need him for the playoffs. If we get to the playoffs, they need him for later on the season, so why risk it now?
Not saying much, but the Colerain Cardinals and the Fairfield Indians almost mathematically guaranteed playoff spots at this point. It's nearly
Colerain is 100% in the playoffs, and I'm so happy it's week 8. We're going to talk Harbins tonight, whether you guys want to do it or not. The Cardinals are in. I'm happy to tell you right now that regardless of what happens the next 3 weeks, even with a loss tonight, Colerain is in the playoffs. Now, obviously, right now what we're doing is we're playing for seeding. This is a huge game for the Fairfield Indians. They are pumped up. They are fired up. They want this win. Again, Colerain riding a 64-game consecutive GMC winning streak. It is all on the line tonight.
I'll tell you what.
And that's not just lip service. That's legitimate.
I know they're both senior captains, but the size difference between the 6'6", 300-pound Jackson Carmen and the 5'6", 5'7" Chico Robinson is kind of off-putting. Like those two shouldn't be.
It's kind of Judge Altuve difference.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan, Chico Robbins is actually listed as 5'8".
He's not. He's not 5'8".
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle. You'll hear his name on
We've
punt
heard
kick returns tonight.
his name the past 3 years.
Yeah. And that's my concern defensively for the Cardinals, right? So while we want to put pressure on Tyus, there's no doubt about it, he can move. He can scramble. He's got over 300 yards rushing. And we have proven time and time again that sometimes in this 50 slant defense, you don't always have the quarterback accounted for. So if you're going to put pressure on him and you're going to rush him, you must get to him. Because if he gets in the open, he's going to create space, and he's going to turn 3rd and 7s into first downs.
Chris Mangold set to kick off for the Colerain Cardinals.
One of the real heroes, and in fact was quoted, mentioned by the opposing head coach, Coach Krause, in the Journal News this week, where he talked about how impressed he was that Colerain always finds a way to find a kicker, and with the school as big as Fairfield, they sometimes struggle. So we are underway. Mango gets his foot underneath the ball. It's a medium kick. It's going to be taken inside of the end zone, right inside the pylon, and it's going to be out at the 20-yard line where the Fairfield offense will set up 1st and 10.
And if you're Chris Mangold, can't have a better kickoff than that. He put an angle on it. Chico Robinson was unsure. He was at a point where he's either running with his momentum out of bounds or he can let it bounce out of bounds for a penalty on the Cardinals. It bounces through the back of the end zone and a touchback for the Colerain kicker.
Fairfield's taking the field. Now, the big offensive lineman stands out, but look at the rest of the offensive line. They're huge across the board, a huge difference. We don't have heights and weights other than him in front of us, but
yep,
that's a big offensive line.
So in the shotgun is Jeff Tyus. He's got 3 in the backfield, takes it, hands it off right across the middle, number 9. He's got it, looking for some room. Ivan Pace on defense, stepping up and making the tackle.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've seen this in a long time. Isn't the yard marker on the home side normally?
It's on the away side normally.
Or is it
on our
okay?
side? It's just normally there's not a visiting side booth. Everything's on the same side.
Right. So
you're right. It's a little odd. We're actually in the visitors' press box, and the home side has their own press box, but there wasn't enough room for us over there, so they kicked us over here to the visitors' box. Thank God that sun has gone down. Boy, that was brutal. All right. So 2nd down and about 7. 3 yards on that first down run. Jeff Tyus taking his time. Snap is back. Handoff once again over the middle. This time to number 31. He's got it and taken down number 2 and number 7 on the tackle.
And a great job by Javon Hicks. Luke Bolden does his job. He keeps on that little counter to the outside. They take the motion one way, fake it back, counter the other way. Luke Bolden forces it outside. Javon Hicks gets off of his block. And this is the situation the Fairfield Indians don't want to be in 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're running strictly out of the shotgun formation, spread option all over the place.
I think it's 3rd down and 6 on the scoreboard. Look for a pass here, I would suspect. Tyus has got running backs on either side of him, takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, tries to get the run, and he's not going to get anything. Taken down by number 11.
Yard short.
Great penetration up front.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I was looking at you wrong. Yeah, we got a terrible angle here.
It's not a great angle.
Tackled at the 25. So yeah.
Yep. So he's tackled at 25. So the Fairfield Indians go 3 and out, presumably on their first down, assuming they don't try anything funny here.
I'll tell you what, Javon Hicks is only about 30 yards back, so not a lot of respect for the punter for the Fairfield Indians.
Let's see. The punter here averages 30.1 yards per kick, so not a really big punter. Yeah, that's exactly right. Javon perfectly placed. He catches it. Not a fair catch. Stays on his feet. Takes it into Fairfield territory. Still on his feet. Down to the 40. Going out of bounds and pushed out of bounds just before he gets to about the 35-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. I'm going to say that Colerain's going to be setting up in Fairfield territory right around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, 38-39, but what I saw, Malik Van, the big defensive end, was on kick coverage. For a huge man,
Malik
he
Van,
can move.
Well, Malik Van was back. They do that little 3-man wall in front of the punter. He was the safety valve on that. He made the tackle there.
So we're going to see a lot of Malik Van and Rusty Feth matched up tonight? Certainly hope so. Ivan Pace in the backfield as the fullback under linebacker under center. Takes the ball, hands it to Ivan Pace. Nope, fakes it. Keeps it himself. Fooled me on it. He's going to move forward, pick up about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, just a simple read option to the left. He reads the fullback, reads the end, keeps it himself. I would have liked to see him playing his foot a little bit quicker and go up, but he does pick up 3, almost 4 yards.
Yep, it's going to be marked as 2nd down and 7. Ball on the 36-yard line. As we all know, this offense takes a little while to get moving, but they're coming out in very traditional sets.
Yeah.
Tight formation for the Cardinals. Sincere Jones in motion. Gunner takes it. Rolls to the left, pitches it wide. J.J. Davis has got it, trying to get some room. He stays on his feet and gets down to about the 30-yard line.
Very close to the first down marker, but a great play. Colerain using the motion there, going motion one way, getting linebackers going one way, going against the motion. Here, they force the pitch right away. J.J. Davis takes it, makes him the safety miss in space, and picks up extra yardage. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, 1.5, and here comes the big formation. Bolden in the backfield. Going power against power right here.
You're going to get your matchup here. Malik Van has shifted over
Malik
top.
Van against Dan Bolden.
Here we go,
Watch
first of many tonight.
Crack.
There's the handoff. Oh, the ball's on the ground. Fairfield's picked it up, and they're running. I don't see any whistles or anything. I think that's going to be a fumble and a turnover.
Fairfield makes the first big play. Didn't see what happened, whether it was contact or something in the handoff there, but yeah, picks it up cleanly about the 35-yard line. Looked like he had enough for the first down, but that ball's loose. Fairfield recovers a slight return, and they're going to get the ball back at their own 46. So Colerain makes the big stop on 3 and out, but then the first turnover of the night, almost in field goal territory. You really didn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's a big mistake by the Cardinals on offense. The exact kind of stuff I talked about in the preview that you simply can't do. So now you're -1 already in the turnover margin, and we're sitting at the 8.5-minute mark of the game.
6'6", 340 on this side against Trey Harris, 5'7", 197. That's a matchup.
There you go. There's Tyus once again. Takes the ball, swings it out to Chico Robinson. He runs wide. He's going to have room, and he's going to get it out past the 45-yard line of the Cardinals. It's going to be very close to a first down. I'm going to call it a 9-yard pickup on first down.
Yeah, it's going to be probably 9.5 and set up a second and maybe have a yard.
Chico Robinson is a
looks
speed
like they
demon.
might call for a measurement. Yeah, they just went to Colerain style and just got outside. Speed, followed the blockers. Good block by the
Wow, not even going to measure. They're just going to give it to him.
I don't think that he needed to. He needed the 44-yard line. That's where the marker was. That's
close.
Where the ball is.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
So 10-yard run for Chico Robinson.
To the Colerain 45.
Once again, handoff this time going the other way. Tackled in the backfield.
Sean Pace.
Nice tackle by the sophomore coming up from his safety spot and making a tackle in the backfield for a loss of 4.
Same play, just opposite side, but this time Pace reads it right away. I tell you what, play action, we don't know how well he's thrown for 800 yards, and got to watch a tight end on plays like that, but just like Colerain, the run sets up the pass, so safety's got to be aggressive, but they can't overcommit. 3-yard loss on the play.
So 2nd down and 13, ball at the Colerain 47-yard line. No score here early in the game. Jeff drops back, looks to pass for the very first time. He rolls out, looks to his right, throws it. There's a
pickoff.
No.
Caught. Intercepted.
He caught it. Oh, calm down.
No.
He caught it, I think, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think they called it incomplete. Both guys kind of jumped up with the ball. They came down, and the ball did squirt loose. Neither one of them had possession. but it is probably in the area of holding a spot foul, a huge play.
Yeah, that's a huge play. You're right, because that was 4 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage, and they were already 4 yards behind the original line. So it's going to be second down on a country mile for Fairfield. It's going to knock them back into their own territory.
Yeah, he looked downfield originally and well covered by the defensive back, so he had to roll out from pressure, and in that rollout, somebody got a hold of a jersey or something. That ball's all the way back to the 40.
It'll be 2nd and 25 for the Indians.
Hey, good size with the wide receiver out there. 83, as I said, we have no heights and weights on
That's
the
Eric
Fairfield
All. Yeah, they don't. How about that? They have no heights and weights nowhere. Even the AD's office didn't have him in the roster they sent me.
So second down and a long way.
Can't afford a scale and a measuring tape, I guess.
Gotta watch the screen.
Yep, so there's a snap back to Tice. He hands it off over the middle. Big hole across the middle. Kind of shoddy tackling on the Colerain Cardinals. Gets it all the way back into Colerain territory, down to the 45-yard line. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and about 11. That was Tamir Boykin on the carry.
Yeah, he has to get to the 34, not the 35 for a first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Tamir Boykin, a 5'9", 165-pound senior, 263 yards on the year, 4.5 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns.
And that's one of those ones where it's a long down situation. You're kind of playing back, giving some space, but you got to make that initial tackle. And what was a 6-7-yard gain turned into a 10, 12-yard gain.
Snap is back to Tyus. He looks to pass. He stands in the pocket, tucks it, and he's going to go down.
52, Brennan Hobbs with the sack.
That's a huge play for the Colerain Cardinals because Tyus was looking, and the entire interior of that line was collapsing, and the Cardinals force a punt.
Brennan Hobbs, the 5'7", 215-pound senior interior lineman.
It's about effort. It's about defending the streak. It's about coming here and saying we will not be bullied by a team with more D1 athletes that's a bigger school or anything like that.
Again, Javon Hicks back. He's got a helper back there. It looks like Pace is back.
Well, the defense has certainly done their job. There's a kick, a bit higher kick this time. He's going to call a fair catch and catches it right at the 15-yard line. So Javon not a fan of calling that fair catch, but did absolutely the right thing there by calling it.
Well, sometimes not having the best punter helps you a little bit. That ball was end over end, knuckleball, as ugly as a punt, but you've got to make it's a tough one to catch.
Yeah, if it's not a clean punt, it makes it difficult to catch and get a running start. And we'll take this time to remind everyone home you can reach us in the booth at the live chat on the Ustream on YouTube or at radiowearecolerain.com. We want to spread a special thanks for listening from California, Lenny Lopez. He kind of missed some of the game last week, dealing with those forest fires out there in Corona, California. Thanks for listening in this week. Roy Stevens listening in also.
First down and 10. Gunner under center, takes the ball, hands it off across the middle, stays on his feet and into the open. Is number 5, Ivan Pace. He's got his hand in punting for the first down. All the way up.
Pops out after contact, but he is down.
Yep, all the way down to the 40, all the way up to the 45-yard line. So 30-yard run for Ivan Pace on first down. But you're right. Once again, the whoopsies, the ball came out.
Well, what I saw from
this, God, Malik Van is huge. Is it? Good God, that guy is he's just ginormous.
And again there, the Colerain Cardinals using the motion against the Colerain. They send motion one way, run the option against the motion, and the fullback wide open up the middle. Ivan Pace really not touched, got tripped up, caught himself, and kept going forward for 30 yards.
They've widened the splits between the offensive line.
Gunner drops back.
He's there at the tight end.
Pass is complete to number 10. He's got it. He's down to the 30, the 25, the 20. Still on his feet and takes it all the way down to the Fairfield 15-yard line. First down, Cardinals.
For the second time this season, Luke Ponting catches it, and this time it's just fake it, fullback, trap, fake the option, bootleg the other way. He's got the fullback in the flat. He's got the tight end over top in the corner route. No one covers the corner. Luke Ponting down to the 15.
You know, Fairfield had the ball last time, Brandon, and I said, hey, safeties can't commit because they can go play action and get caught. Well, Fairfield wasn't listening to my advice to the Colerain Cardinals, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Great call, Brian. That's exactly right.
Except for the wrong team.
There you go.
But it affects both ways. I mean, very similar offensive.
So first down and 10 for the Cards now. Gunner back under center on the 15-yard line. Takes the ball, hands it off to the fullback. Ivan's got it. He's going to pick up about 1, maybe 2 on the play.
A little different look there. No wingbacks. They split everyone out. Just quarterback, fullback with a tight end. And look like they're trying to create space using formation to their advantage up front.
Yeah, they set it up so it's man on man with the defensive line and the offensive line, and this time a nice play by number 6, Melvin Pleasant.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Malik Van, but he is not the only one. He stands out because he is that much bigger than everyone else, but across the board, very big and impressive defensive line for the Indians.
They return 4 defensive linemen. Gunner there takes the ball, fakes it, pitches it out to J.J. Davis. If he can make one man miss, he's going to get some yards, and he does. I know, Brian, you can't see, right? You're trying. But he's going to pick up positive yards and take it down. Is that inside the 10, Brandon? Can you tell?
Just inside the 10-yard line, but I'll tell you what, fantastic play by Malik Van. He completely blew up Ivan Pace. He caused a little bump. Gunner Linedecker had to change his course a little bit, and that was all J.J. Davis getting 5 yards. Fairfield Indians had that play stopped to rights, but J.J. Davis makes somebody miss on the edge and picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, little hesitation stutter step he did. Gets the defensive back who had the angle on him just to delay enough to let him get outside.
Scoring first, I think, is real key in this game.
Scoring the most is the biggest key, though.
I would agree. Gunner drops back, fakes the handoff, rolls, looks to pass, throws it, and it is almost intercepted. Intended for Deontay Smith-Moore. Tipped by number 24, incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, that's
4th down, Chris.
4th down, I'm sorry.
Drew Bartolovic tried to say that one.
Yeah, they tried a little play action, go over top. Try to play action, look for the fade in the back of the end zone for Javon Hicks, but he is well covered in that corner, and then it's just Gunner Linedecker trying to find some space, tried to hit Deontay Smith-Moore on the outlet, but he's just not there.
Yep, Drew Bartolovic actually leads the team with 2 interceptions.
Almost had a third right there. Nice read.
Yeah, it was. So Chris Mangold on to attempt a field goal. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. It's a low kick, and it is good. Not one of his prettier ones.
Didn't hit it well, but just enough to get it over the crossbar and at the 3:24 mark of the first quarter. It's your Colerain Cardinals 3, the Indians of Fairfield 0.
Again, Colerain scores first, and that field goal is brought to you by the Colerain Athletic Association corporate sponsors. So thank you to allow us to do everything we do here with your support. Game On Sports Bar, Plato's Closet, Quaker Steak, Midwest Stonescapes, Kona Ice, Valley Metalworks, Underground Sports Shop, The Cardinal Corner, Thrivent Financial, Susan Bennett, Supercuts, Queen City Running, Northwest Association of Educators, Long Schaefer and Company, Life Touch, La Rosa's, Langdon Meats and Fine Wine, Joseph's Toyota of Cincinnati, Hochting Realtors, Friendship Baptist Church, Friedhof Accounting, Fast Signs, Arab Pest Control, and again, Joe Kappel's Landscaping.
So Mangold's set to kick off again. His first one went through bounced through the end zone.
Yeah, Raekwon Williams and Chico Robinson both back, both dangerous with the ball in their hand.
I'm not kicking either one of them.
Well, we really know when tonight to fool with. So, I mean, if
he's
got the leg and if he can get it consistently down there, let him kick to the end zone for no return.
Gets underneath, he kicked it. It's not going to the end zone. It's going to be short. Yep, going to be caught just inside the 10, taken to the 15, the 20, the 25, and gets out of bounds, pushed out of bounds, tackled out of bounds just before the 30.
And that's one of those ones where they want to pop it a little higher in the air, give your defense, try to trap him in the corner. Chico Robinson, the blocking, did just enough to get past the 20, and it'll be brought down at the 26.
Yeah, on your defense right now, we got Tanner Rail, Ethan Stout, Trey Harris, Brennan Hobbs up front, Danny Bolden, Luke Bolden are your linebackers, along with Sincere, Jones, Deshaun Pace, Jakari Patterson, and Javon Hicks.
Actually, they're going to mark it on the 28.
So first down and 10 for Fairfield at the 28-yard line. Snap is back to Chias. Takes it off, hands it off once again. There's another big hole in the middle. It's going to have enough for the first down. That's once again number 31, Tamir Boykin on the carry. It's going to pick up about 15 yards on the play out to the 40. See where they mark it, right at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nothing fancy. It was just a straight dive. Only one guy in the backfield. They're doing everything out of the shotgun.
That's where that big offensive line for Fairfield is stepping up. And here we are with a quick handoff. One more time. Going to pick up about another 4 yards on first down there. Gone to a no huddle has Fairfield.
And they're really confusing me on the Fairfield sideline. They're throwing a football back and forth.
I saw that too,
I
Brandon.
think it's a penalty flag every single play. Just a 3-yard gain officially on the scoreboard for the Indians.
I tell you, look at the offensive lineman standing next to Jackson Carmen. He's 6'6". This right guard's got to be 6'4", 6'5", and the right tackle again 6'5".
Yeah, they're big. There's no doubt about it. Hey, look, it's a good team, man.
They're 5-0 in the GMC for a reason.
Yep.
Second down and 7.
Shotgun to Tyus. Takes it, hands it off one more time to Boykin. He takes it around the right side. He's going to pick up more positive yards. There. going to give him enough for the first down right out to the Colerain 45-yard line.
And a lot of misdirection in the backfield, and like Colerain was using the motion to get the linebackers landing. Here's what Fairfield's doing now, using that fake jet sweep, pulling their guards one way, taking and going the other way, blocking forward with their tight end.
Tamir Boykin, third on the team in rushing. I haven't seen McLean get the ball yet tonight. He's their leading rusher.
He got it on the first carry of the game, but this is one team that doesn't rely on one runner. They're just going to get all their really scat backs, speed guys in space, and use their big line to push forward.
So first down and 10 for Fairfield inside Colerain territory at the 45-yard line. There's a handoff to Chico Robinson. He takes it around to the left side, looking to turn the corner. Doesn't quite get it. It's going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. They're going to give him 3 yards.
Good play there by both teams on the jet sweep. Chico Robinson really patient and initially just letting his blocks as he gets it on the edge. He doesn't really have the initial burst set, uses his blockers to set up, but then a good job of recovery by Luke Bolden there to really shed off the block and let Javon Hicks and Dan Bolden clean it up.
We've always complimented Colerain in the past, and a big key to this, we're watching Fairfield, their wide receivers are very willing blockers.
Well, it's key when you're going to run those sweeps, right? So here we go now.
So this time 3 in the backfield.
Minute 40 left in the first quarter. Shotgun. Tyus once again takes the ball, hands it off, goes around left side. Number 9's got it. Well, I don't see any flag on the play. That's Jaton McLean, the aforementioned Jaton McLean, who hadn't gotten a handoff since the first play of the game, takes it all the way down to the Colerain.
There's a flag after play way out of the line of scrimmage. Couple of a Colerain defender and the running back both fell down, and they're going to say he fell down because of contact. I believe they're going to tack on 15 yards after this play. They're going to call that a late hit.
Well, they're certainly marking it off. There's no question about it. So they're going to take that ball all the way down inside or right at the 10-yard line. Looks like it's at the 12-yard line. That's interesting. They missed the blatant hold back here in the backfield, but they were sure to throw that flag on the
we couldn't really see it in the corner back there.
I missed it.
They both were running and getting close to the track, and their feet got tangled up. They did make contact far out of bounds, but it was a mutual contact in my eyes. But first down at the 12-yard line of Colerain, that's Fairfield.
Man in motion, that's all. Tyus takes it once again, hands it off right over the middle. I'll tell you what, there are gigantic holes being created by that Fairfield offensive line right through the middle of the Colerain defense.
Tackles are pushing them outside, and they're going right behind the center through the A gap. This undersized defensive line, they brought in Rusty Fifth there to give him a little bit of size up the middle, but this is where you need your middle linebackers to really read that play and anticipate that A gap.
So second down and 5 at the, 5-yard line. The markers are still up, so I guess
second and 3 from the 5.
Okay. Yep.
Overloading the left side, really good. Got 2 tackles behind Carmen and a tight end to that side, so I'm pretty much they're going left. Play clock running down, not really.
Well, there were 6 seconds left.
I think Jeff Tyus called an audible, and as soon as he called an audible, the Colerain sideline immediately jumped up and pointed in the direction. So maybe Coach Krause recognizes that on his end and realizes whatever the audible was, Colerain had already jumped on.
Well, I think they recognized, too, outside the big tackle, they had a couple guys playing tight end. Colerain goes big. They go big right here. They had 70, 74, and 70.
Those sound like big guys.
All offensive linemen. 1 playing tackle, 2 tight ends, so they were going big left side, but somebody was in the wrong place. Krause didn't like what he saw. Excuse me, Coach Krause.
Coach Krause, interesting note, and we've mentioned this every time we've played Fairfield the past several years. He was the coach at Middletown the last time Colerain lost a GMC game, as he coached the Middies to a 42-39 victory over Colerain back in October of 2008.
So second down and 3, ball spotted at the 5.
There's the handoff once again across the middle. Tackled, taken down, just inside the 5.
Yeah, it's going to be third down and 1 for the Indians.
So able to pick up a first down without having to score, although they're so close.
Officially at the 4, so it'll be third down and 2. Yeah, you got to think. I know you're in an easy field goal range. You got to think if you're the Fairfield Indians playing at home, you've owned the line of scrimmage here early, that they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they don't get this.
Yeah, when you've got an offensive lineman that's the number 1 in the country, you follow him for 1 yard.
Yeah, it should not be that difficult.
He's flipped to the right side this time.
The defense is going to have to do something to get through that line. Tice is in the shotgun, Boykin in the backfield. He takes the handoff, tries to run around, goes through the center, and he's into the end zone, waiting for the indication. There it is. Fairfield puts the first 6 on the board, and now leads 6-3 over the Colerain Cardinals. Extra point pending.
Yeah, Dan Bowden had his spot one-on-one with Chico Robinson in the hole, and Chico Robinson makes him miss and slides in the end zone.
It's not a very powerful guy, but very slippery.
He is. I think he honestly could be the key to the game tonight. Him and Boykin.
Reminds me in size a little bit of Tyler Williams.
Yeah, he's just fast and he's slippery. You know, he's one of those guys you could kind of miss in a phone booth. It's a high snap and the kick is blocked.
And that is immediately dead.
And he's going to throw a flag on Luke Bolden.
The ball was loose after you cannot return it, but as the whistle was blown, the Colerain defender makes contact.
Oh, that wasn't make contact. Luke Bolden blew that kid up.
Right, but the
whistle's blown.
Right, the whistle's blown.
It doesn't matter. Right. He made contact after the whistle is blown. It doesn't matter.
Right.
There's no justifying that play by Luke Bolden.
That's right. That was a mistake, and it's going to cost Colerain 15 yards.
So interesting what Fairfield does with that. It'll be enforced on the kickoff. Do you have a kick? Do you let the kicker just kick it into the end zone, or do you set yourself up with 15 yards on that? It's a kind of an interesting. You got a little bit of momentum. Do you try an onside kick this early? Try to catch Colerain off guard.
I would think you just put it through the back of the end.
I'm going to take this time to remind everyone you can reach us in the booth at radiowearecolerain.com or in the live chat on the stream. Thank you to listening from Houston, Texas, Chris Walker, class of 93. And listening from Lincoln, Nebraska, Jim and Terry Shear. Got to think they're at the Ohio State game this week.
Okay, I'm about to say, why are they not in Chicago? But yeah. Jim and Tammy, I don't know if you've been. I've had some family lived out there. Find a place, go out to dinner, get a runza.
Thank you for that.
It's a regional food. It's a cabbage sausage loose meat sandwich. It's very good.
Great story.
It's almost like a loose meat White Castle.
I'd love to see maybe the Colerain Cardinals get a big runza here and put 6 more on the board.
But the Fairfield Indians, after the personal foul on the blocked extra point, will be kicking off from the Colerain 45. And you got to think they're just going to try to put this in the end zone or try to get something kind of a pop-up kick and trap the Cardinals deep.
Yeah, Colerain is they don't really have their hands team in, but their initial blockers are really kind of taking an eye. They're up a little bit closer.
And this is a weird thing because you have limited time in practice. So this is probably a situation where they have a specific play, but it's probably a kickoff they want to do, but you don't have a lot of time to practice it either way for both of these teams.
Right.
So Colerain really nobody deep expecting the long kick, and they kicked it to a gap that's... And he kicks it out of bounds.
That's unbelievable. Colerain could not have gotten a better break there. Instead of just booting it through the back of the end zone and setting Colerain up on the 20, he kicks it out of bounds. They're going to start off at their own, 35-yard line?
What it looked like he tried to do, Colerain had no guys deep because they expected a deep kick, so they had to hand everybody up. Nobody was within the 10-yard line. There was a gap back there we saw last week where Colerain popped it up to a gap and they got it. He pops it to that gap, but it doesn't stay in bounds. And a great job. It was close. I think it was J.J. Davis back there made a decision not to touch it. And it does go out of bounds. So referees discussing where to place the ball.
So they're going to start at the 20, and then they're going to mark off the 15 yards, I presume?
No. They kicked it out of bounds.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, they got to stop him. There's a penalty on the play. The referee has got the ball set at the 20.
No. The ball was kicked out of bounds. It should be at the 35.
We clearly missed something because Colerain is starting at their own 20-yard line, and Bolden is not screaming like a maniac. So something happened. Gunner under center takes the ball, gives the handoff to the fullback. He's going to fall forward.
And maybe the rule is since they kicked, it's a penalty from, and that'll be the last play. So after 1 quarter of play here at Fairfield High School, it's the Fairfield Indians 6, the Colerain Cardinals 3. You got to believe that penalty is enforced from a distance from the kickoff spot, not automatically.
So because they kicked it,
because they kicked off at the 45-yard line.
That's the only thing I could guess.
Because it's a 15-yard difference. Because they kicked off, it's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the kick.
Then why did they kick off on our 45?
They kicked off at our 45. The penalty puts it. If you would have kicked off at the 40, the ball would have been at the 35. Because we kicked off from the 45, the ball is at the 20.
Okay, I don't understand that math.
Yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Colerain
No, the
got
math
it.
is correct. I just never knew that rule. Or if there's a rule, we're speculating that's a rule.
So the Colerain defense is going to have a chance. They're over here on the sidelines getting themselves worked out. Again, thanks for joining tonight to the broadcast. This is a huge game between the 5-2 Colerain Cardinals and the 5-2 Fairfield Indians. Both teams undefeated in GMC play at 5-0. Both schools having very, very similar statistics, very similar records to start the year, losing both of their first two non-conference games. Colerain, of course, to LaSalle and St. X, and Fairfield, as we mentioned earlier, to Centerville and Northmont. Centerville and Northmont have gone on, and they are combined 12-2 this far into the season. So Fairfield didn't lose to a couple of chumps. They lost to some real good teams, and Fairfield's a team that come playoff time can really make some noise if they can find a way, as you mentioned in the pregame broadcast, Brandon, to get this offense going. But tonight, it's just simply a matter of sweep right, sweep left, and then take that big offensive line up through the middle. The Colerain defense has got to find some way to get in that backfield and disrupt Tyus, because he's got time back there, and he has shown, you can tell, he's a little jittery back there.
They just need to stop the run and force him to throw. Let's stop the run. Let's stop the running backs. Force him to beat you with his feet and his arm. Easier said than done. I mean, you've got probably an average of 280 pounds across this offensive line, and you've got, 205 across on the defensive line?
Yeah. Very lengthy delay there in between quarters as the Fairfield Indians honored both of their boys and girls soccer teams who clinched GMC titles last night.
Beating Mason, I think, in both
and so after a very long delay, we're back to action, 2nd and 9. Cardinals, false motion, really confused. I guess Malik Van did not go all the way across.
Guess not. Gunner under center. Takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps himself. Good move on his part. Cuts it back across the middle. Going to be tackled by the first man, but he's going to be close to the first down, up to about the 27-yard line.
Officially, it'll be the 28, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Colerain Cardinals.
It's a good decision by Gunner there to pull that ball out of the mesh and take it around the end.
Good tackle over the top there by the safety, because Gunner Leininger cut back and he thought he had space to run, but a good job. That's not the right number. Rudy Jones with the tackle from the safety position.
So 3rd down and 2 at the 28-yard, their own 28-yard line. J.J. Davis in motion. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace. The surprise to no one. He gets it out to the 30-yard line. He's going to have enough for the first down.
He needed the 30-yard line. He got the 30-yard line. Exactly, the 30-yard line. Just simple option, 2-man game, inside veer, straight give to the fullback, and it's a first down.
You mentioned Rudy Jones a minute ago. He is one of 6 2016 All-GMC selections that have returned this year for Fairfield. They are loaded. J.J. Davis in motion, fakes the handoff once again to Gunner Linedecker, stays on his feet, tries to get out of a tackle, doesn't do it, but gets back up to the line of scrimmage. Malik Van on the tackle.
No, that was
54. My apologies.
That was 50 Del Thomas, and this is a very special group at Fairfield. Coach Krause and Coach Bonham both talked about this class here at Fairfield. They've all been starting. They had at one point they had 12 guys starting as sophomores that come up, and like you said, 6 of them last year were all GMC.
Yep, Del Thomas leading Fairfield in tackles with 45 on the year. Also has 3 sacks and 2 fumble recoveries. Very active defensively. That's why they're number 1 in the GMC. Gunner drops back, looks to pass, throws it out to Javon Hicks. He's got it. Tackled immediately, but not before he picks up about 8, maybe 9 yards on the play, so it'll be 3rd and short again.
Just fake the option one way, take a step back, quick hook the other way. And it's deja vu. It was 3rd down and 2 to get to the 30-yard line. Now it's 3rd down and 2 to get to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Fairfield really cheating up with their linebackers, plugging up the middle. So that leaves your DBs, your cornerbacks, one-on-one with these wide receivers, and a pretty big cushion right there, a nice read. Just he has a little bit of space to work with, just getting the ball quick on the outside.
Very methodical is this Colerain offense, as well they should be. There's a push right up the line. There's the handoff across the middle. Ivan Pace has got it. Secure that ball, young man. Stays on his feet and takes it out. They can't whistle that play dead. Let's see where they take it. The far referee is way too early. Wait, there you go. Move that thing up at least another yard.
It'll be a first down, and the Cardinals really good read right away by Gunner Linedecker. Malik Van was just a hair close to being offside. I think he was watching the play clock because the Cardinals took that right down to the end of the play, 25 seconds. Nearly made the play in the backfield, but a good play by Pace to pick up 4 yards.
I saw the same thing, Brandon. His great jump actually kind of took him out of the play.
See what they do here. Once again, Javon Hicks, the only wide receiver. Haven't changed much on motion. There's a counter to J.J. Davis. He's going to try and get around the end. Good speed on the defense, but he did get around the end, and he's going to have enough for the first down all the way into Fairfield territory.
And that's all speed. It's a counter to the right side, trying to overplay the defense, but the defense is there. J.J. Davis just gets around the corner, breaks contain, and picks up a first down to the Fairfield 45.
So 9:13 left to go here in the first half. Huge game between two very, very good football teams. Once again, traditional double wing. Gunnar drops back, looks to pass, throws it out to Javon Hicks. He makes a curl, makes a man miss. He's going to be on his feet, and he's into the open. He's got one man to beat. Good tackle by Fairfield, but not until Javon gets all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that was all Javon Hicks and his moves.
And again, same play. This time, though, they go to the direction of the play, which gets this cornerback kind of his feet shuffling in the wrong direction. The catch on the hook, the defender's going one way, can't turn around in time to make the play, and Hicks has the sideline and the safety over top, pushes him down, but not before he gets 30 yards down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, defensive back playing 7 yards off. He came up quickly, but that's
and it was
too
interesting
much
because we've seen that play to the back against it. So you fake the option one way and then come back with it. This time they went with the option fake and really broke up the safety.
Ivan Pace takes the ball as a fullback. He's going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. That was kind of blown up to begin with there.
A really good play by Del Thomas.
Yep.
Could have given him only 1 yard on that.
Del Thomas only a junior. There are several good juniors on this team too. So while there's a lot of sophomores from a couple of years ago that are seniors this year, there's a lot of good juniors. And got an interesting little factoid that we shared earlier this week on Twitter.
I formation for the Cardinals.
Under 10 seconds on the play clock.
They've spread out the offensive line with a little bit larger splits.
Gunnar Leyendecker takes it, fakes the handoff, keeps it, and pitches it to J.J. Davis. And he's going to be taken down for about a 5. Let's see where he was. Where
no
they going to mark it? No gain on the play? Okay. He tried to get wide on that and couldn't quite get around the corner that time. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Raekwon Williams was the man beat out last time he tried to get outside. Stiff-armed him and got around him. This time the stiff arm ineffective, stays his ground, forces him inside.
3rd down and 9 for the Cardinals at the Fairfield 14-yard line. Interesting play call here as the Cardinals are really running this clock down.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to snap the ball here. I mean, there's 4 seconds left. Yeah.
Gunnar Leyendecker sees it and calls a timeout.
Yeah.
So interesting with the miss extra point. You don't think about try not to think about point differential just yet.
No, don't even consider it.
But a field goal ties it. You don't want to go away with the field goal. So does this play just kind of center the ball? And if you get in the middle of it, do you take a shot? You got Hicks one-on-one.
Just center the ball. Come on now.
No, you run a play to the left side, and if you get it, you get it. But if not, you're running to that side of the field.
I understand your point. I'm confident that Coach Bolden is confident enough in Mangle that he can put the ball through no matter where he is. But your point's valid. Certainly, if you're going to run a play, why not run it that way?
Yeah,
to put yourself in a position.
If we want to play it that way, why not just take a knee then in the middle of the field and not even go for the first down?
Well, that's probably extreme.
Well, let's center the ball and play for a field goal. What are you, Marvin Lewis?
I'd like to see.
Not what I said.
I'd like to see I'd like to see a pass into the end zone here.
You got one-on-one. If you got a wide side of the field, they like that fade to Javon Hicks on this left side. But also, I like almost play action here, find Ponting again.
Yeah, I was just
linebackers
thinking
pick
the
it
same
up.
thing.
Watch for this tight end to Luke's out, but got a little different matchup this time. They switched defensive backs. You do have one-on-one with Hicks, and I tell you what, it is a definite one-on-one. There's nobody close to him on offensive or defensive side.
Gunnar under center takes the ball. It's a pitch. This time out to Sincere Jones. He's got it. He gets down to the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds. I'm not sure where.
And you can't tell by the angle, but the mark is he needed the 5-yard line.
Javon Hicks wasn't
happy. And he got the 5-yard line.
Okay.
Sincere Jones on the toss sweep on 3rd and 9 picks up
That's
the
huge.
first down. And that was 2 things. That was Sincere. That was Javon Hicks getting a great block on Raekwon Williams on the edge, and then that was Sincere Jones just being faster than everyone else on the field.
On that side, yep.
And he knew he had to get the 5-yard line, and he dove out of bounds, stretching it forward to get the line to gain.
Sincere Jones is a special football player. There's no doubt of it. So 1st and goal now at the 5-yard line for the Cards. Got to find a way to get it in here. Gunner under center, takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, tries to spin, wrapped up in the backfield once again by number 4. Brandon begging for a flag.
If we're going to call that one way, call it the other way too.
Yeah, with a little bit of hitting after the whistle.
Especially when it's the quarterback.
Yeah. You're not going to get any argument from me.
But they do lose a yard. Something was off on that play. I don't know if Fairfield jumped the snap or the timing was off right away.
Yeah, I think it was a little mix-up on the timing of the motion on the Colerain side.
So now 2nd and goal back at the 6-yard line. The referee or somebody standing right in front of the play clock. I can't see how much time. Not much there.
Cameraman from somebody.
Yep. Gunner drops back, looks to pass, and he's going to go down. Malik Van on the sack, taking it all the way back to the 15-yard line. That's the problem with trying to set up the pass. If it's not a quick hit, then you're going to run into a situation where that guy is going to be in your backfield.
Well, I see your 2 wide receivers, Sincere and Hicks, on the outside talking to each other. They went play action, and it looks like one of the 2 ran a wrong route.
Yeah,
because they're discussing out there.
That was less the sack by Van.
Good decision.
That was
by
a
Gunner.
quick decision. I have 1, 2. If it's not there, but it looked like both receivers ran the same route, and it wasn't there, and Gunner's basically he's nowhere to go with it, and he's going to take that sack no matter what. It just happened to be Van making.
They got to go quick. They got 3 seconds on the play clock. They're not going to get this off. This is a recurring problem with this offense and has been for the better part of 2 or 3 years. Where we struggle either getting the play in or the offense getting it off. So now you're going to have a 5-yard penalty for delay of game. You're going to be knocked back even further.
Colerain.
Which, honestly, if you're going to throw the ball, probably doesn't matter anyway because it just gives you a little bit more room to work with.
No penalty, a timeout called by the Colerain sideline.
Oh, they did call it. Okay. I saw Bolden screaming. I couldn't tell if he was screaming to get the timeout or because he yelled it and they didn't give it to him.
Yeah, he was pointing out to the line judge that they had called it there on the side. And it looked like, for me, he wasn't happy how quickly they started the play clock there. But that's just speculation on my point.
5:35 to go in the first half. Fairfield leading 6-3. They do have a touchdown with a blocked extra point. Colerain with a field goal. Really, really, really would like a touchdown here. The Fairfield defense has been everything that's advertised. As we've seen, again, number 1 in the GMC in yards allowed per game, number 1 in the GMC in rushing yards allowed per game. I think number 3 in the GMC, I'm not exactly sure, I may be misquoting that, but they're in the top 5 in the GMC in passing yards per game allowed.
So 4 wide receivers, shotgun formation.
Good idea, give him a little bit of extra time. Gunner drops back, looks to pass, immediately looks. He's going to tuck it and try and run, find some room. He's going to throw it. It's going to be caught. Touchdown!
J.J. Davis!
Into the end zone! Touchdown, Cardinals!
Initial wide receivers are covered. It turns into a scramble drill. A good decision by Gunner linebacker. He finds J.J. Davis in the flat. His second, third option on that, and J.J. Davis does it from there.
And I'll tell you what, the thing that's not, sorry about the screaming, Chris, but the thing you're not going to see there that won't come up in the stat sheet, I couldn't tell if it was Josh Huber, number 3, or Sincere Jones, number 1. Off of that scramble, J.J. Davis kind of goes out into the flat. Kick is up, extra point is good. 5:24 markets are Colerain Cardinals, Ted Fairfield Indians 6. But it's not going to show stat. I can't tell if it was Josh Huber or Sincere Jones. They broke off of that route, realizing that play was on the outside, set themselves up to block for J.J. Davis as Gunner Linedecker scrambling out, throws it out there, and it almost turned into a screen for J.J. Davis at that point.
Yep.
Because this Sincere Jones or Josh Huber, again, I can't tell it was by number or by height because it was in a crowd, basically turned it into a running back screen. J.J. Davis gets it down to the goal line, and from there, it's all him. At the 3-yard line, made one defender miss, gets in the end zone. 6 points for the Colerain Cardinals.
So Colerain answers with a score of their own, a 80-yard drive. I tell you what, that's the way you establish that. That shows a lot of heart by this team.
And how much does that kind of go right to the heart of the Fairfield defense? Because they had a stop, they had a sack, they thought they had
a penalty. They made some mistakes in the red zone, but
they would still come away with the touchdown.
Over a half of that quarter was the Colerain Cardinals driving the football. The Colerain Cardinals started that drive in the first quarter, that ended at the 5:24 mark of the second with a touchdown.
Sometimes your best defense is a good time clock-consuming offense, and that's exactly what they did there.
Although, unfortunately for the Colerain Cardinals, they do have a number of players going both ways.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, Williams and Robinson setting up at their own 5-yard line. Mangold kicks.
Gets his foot underneath it. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken inside the 5-yard line. And then see who caught it. Was that Chico? He's got it. He's out to the 10, the 15. Look at him. Look at him just sliding through tacklers. It's quite impressive. He gets it out to about the 24. I guess they're going to give him the 25.
There is a flag on the play. It looks a block in the back, a spot foul from around the 15, 16-yard line. So that big return, not really a big return. He gets out to the 25.
It's a big return from where it was. Colerain Cardinals had that dead to rights stuck in the corner.
About the 15, yeah.
Chico Robinson does a good job of slipping a couple tacklers just to get to the 24. But as you said, it's a spot foul at the 16-yard line.
Half the distance.
Half block in the back, half the distance. It'll put it at the 8-yard line.
We'll take that. We will take that. That allows your defense to do some things.
Well, what happened that I think a benefit of that long Colerain drive right there, your defense gets a chance to rest a little bit.
Yep.
The long sustained drive by Fairfield kind of wears out this smaller defensive front, so you can change up. You got fresh bodies now.
But the thing here, and we can't say it enough, high school football all about matchups, and some teams match up.
Yep.
You can't compare scores because the strengths and weaknesses as we get here to this next play.
So shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers.
Snap is back to Tyus. He drops back, looks to pass, got some time, looking to throw. Throws it down the field. It is dropped, almost intercepted out past the 20-yard line, but it is incomplete.
Wow, a gutsy call in the shadow of their end zone.
Deshaun Pace nearly had it picked off, but off of his hands, Eric All almost caught the deflection. They gave Tyus all sorts of room there to run, to just sit there back in the pocket. He had all day to throw, but probably should have just probably thrown it away or tried to run it.
Tuck and run. Yeah, you're right. Pace, Deshaun Pace was back there, timed his jump wrong. Got up in the air and actually tipped it as he was coming down. If he high points that ball, he's got a chance to catch it.
So now 2nd down and 10 for Fairfield at their own 8-yard line. Snap is back to Tyus. He hands it off.
Oh, no, that ball's loose. Nope, that's the player that's loose.
Yes, he was, but he didn't get very far.
Wow. I tell you what, you got a big offensive line like that. They got lost in there.
And here's the thing I was going to talk about. The strength of the Fairfield offense is their offensive line. The glaring weakness, not really weakness, just the way they are set up. It's a speed, not a power defensive front.
Right.
And you're averaging 250 or more up front for the Fairfield
Not
Indians.
a power defensive front, power offensive front. Yeah. That's what you meant.
And Tanner Real is all of 170 pounds.
Is he 28?
Defensive line. Yeah.
I was just looking at him going, he looks like a DB on the D-line. So 3rd down and long for Fairfield. Big opportunity here. Snap is back to Tyus. He hands it off, and once again, the Colerain defense is there to take down the runner for, I think, another loss.
Yeah.
It's going to be at about the 6-yard line, and that the defense could not have done a better job there.
Brandon, that's a great point. You got a huge offensive line, yet you're running out of shotgun formation. If you're not running out of the line, you're
that's what they do.
You do what you do.
But that's the thing. You can look at all these comparative scores. Well, they beat this team by 20 points, and they beat this team by 5, so they should beat them.
But it's all matchups, to your point.
But for all we know, Fairfield can't defend the pass, so that's why Centerville beat them up.
Punter's been struggling from Fairfield. The ball snapped back. He's going to get it off.
Yep.
This one's returnable.
Javon Hicks stepped up, and for some reason, he went backwards. I think Colerain.
I don't know if he lost it in the lights.
Well, we'll see what happens.
No, Fairfield has come up with the ball. Nope, they haven't.
Yeah, they did. They got it. That's unbelievable and, quite frankly, inexcusable by Javon Hicks.
Well, we don't know.
You have to be smarter than that as a senior.
Well, we don't know if he lost it in the lights or what, but
Brian, there's no lights here. There's no lights. He didn't lose it in the lights.
And you've returned a lot of kicks, Chris.
I'm just saying. He went backwards when the ball bounced 5 yards before him.
The ball went 5 yards over his head. He had to go back to get it. He came up on the kick anticipating the short kick, but had to go back after the initial kick because the ball was going over his head.
Either way, the ball's now at the Fairfield 49-yard line. They're at midfield, and it's 1st and 10. That's an unfortunate situation for the Colerain defense.
So 2 turnovers by the Cardinals, both set up Fairfield with short fields.
Tyus drops back, looks to pass. Ivan Pace is in there, and they're going to sack him. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And Brennan Hobbs, for the second time tonight, gets the sack. Ivan Pace made the initial contact, forces him to step up. Brennan Hobbs with the finish.
He'll lose 3 yards, bring us up a 2nd down and 13. Ball spotted at the Fairfield 47.
So last time the Cardinals gave Fairfield a short field, they capitalized with 6 points. Let's see what they can do here.
Fairfield not too much of a hurry, not really worried about the clock.
Yep, only 3 minutes left in the game. Looking at timeouts here, I think both teams have 2 timeouts remaining.
Cardinals have 1.
Cardinals have 1. Okay, I can't see the board. So there's Tyus. He's going to take it around the left side, see if he can get out of bounds, and he does. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and about 7.
Yes. And just a kind of a student body left. They've been faking that jet sweep, trying to set up traps. This time, Tyus keeps it on the edge, found some space, and he's forced out of bounds. It'll set up a 3rd and much more manageable for the Fairfield Indians.
Yeah, the way he was holding the ball, it looked like he was running an option there.
Yeah.
So he picks up about 5, 3rd down and 8.
Clock stopped because he ran out of bounds, so 2:46 remaining in the half. Fairfield trailing 10-6. In the shotgun once again is Jeff Tyus. Single set back. Colerain sending a few. Tyus drops back, throws it across the middle. It is caught by Chico Robinson. I think he's going to be short.
No, he's got about 3 yards.
40, yep. So just a nice simple pass right over the middle. Found a nice little area there, a little soft spot in the defense, and picked up the 1st down.
And the Cardinals brought pressure, and the Fairfield Indians just kind of run that under route right where the linebacker blitzed from. And Chico Robinson finds the space for the 1st down.
Talked about it in the pregame. If you're going to blitz, you got to get to him.
Very tall. Look, it's about 6'4". He can see over the defensive line to make that read. The multiple crossing patterns there.
Yeah, good call out, Brian. He is a big boy. There's the handoff this time once again to Boykin. He takes it around the left side, and there's opening. He's down the sideline, then down to the 30, inside the 25, almost down to the 20-yard line. We'll see where they mark him, but it's going to be another 1st down for the Fairfield Indians. They've now moved themselves in to field goal territory with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the half.
They haven't needed to use their timeouts. Gets out of bounds on the first play. Gets the clock stops while they move the chains. While they get 1st down. And this play, again, get 10 yards. Clock stops while they move the chains. So ball spotted just outside the 20 at the 21-yard line.
Colerain very fortunate to be in a position where they're up 10-6, having a -2 turnover margin here.
Some sort of equipment
issue. Riley's really.
We've never established actually how to say
pronounce his name. We apologize. We should ask the young man. He's got to come out.
Tanner comes out. Rusty Feth goes in.
There you go. Call him by the first name.
There you go. Tanner and Rusty.
Yeah.
So here we go. 1st down and 10 once again in the shotgun. Oh, there's guys moving all over the place. The handoff is to Boykin. Is there no flag on that?
No flag on
the
play.
There were 3 guys moving, but come on. Give me a break. Bolden is imploring the referee to open his eyes and throw the flag. I mean, goodness gracious, that was so obvious.
It's about a 8-yard gain, and everyone kind of slowed down. Both sides kind of slowed down because they thought it was a penalty. It never happened. Good on.
Everybody knew it was a penalty. You're right. Even Fairfield players kind of slowed down the play.
Clock continues to run under 90 seconds in the half.
Tyus in the shotgun. Man in motion. Drops back. Hands off to Boykin once again. He's hitting the backfield by Rusty Feth. But I'll tell you what, he kept his feet moving, that little fella did. And he gets it down inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 13. Is that going to be 4th down? I think he's just short of the 1st down.
3rd down, about 2.
So we have a timeout, Fairfield. As a reminder, with just 1 minute and 4 seconds left to play here in the half, we're not going to be able to move our camera as we have in games in the past to show you the halftime show, which I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be completely unbiased here. Is a real shame because Fairfield has a tremendous band and performing arts group that they put on the field at halftime. But again, we don't want to risk losing the broadcast and losing this angle we've got on the scoreboard. So we'll keep it on.
I'm worried about losing the camera.
That's what. We've exactly right. It's hanging out the edge.
We've got a duct tape to the side of the building.
It's athletic tape.
It's athletic tape.
Okay,
we don't even have duct tape. It's great. So we'll obviously keep. We're going to try. Can we get stats? Can we get them from somebody maybe?
You want to run across the field?
No. Yeah, run across the field, up all those steps, and come back.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that.
We'll have some halftime scores from around. Got a couple.
This is a huge night for football in the city and region.
I've gotten 2 scores so far. One of them is very interesting. Couple shout outs to other people listening in. Scott Noyes listening in. He's watching another game tonight as well. And all the way from Ames, Iowa. Got to give a shout out to Keontae Jones listening in.
There you go, Keontae. Love to know that you're watching, bud.
So 3rd down and 2.
Where's your brother? Snap is back to Jeff Tice. He takes. He's going to keep it himself. Oh, no, hands it off to Boykin. And he gets around left end. I think he's going to have enough for the first down. He's all the way down close, I think, to the 5-yard line.
And
so it's going to be first and goal, and he got out of bounds. Good call, Brian.
Yeah, it was a nice read option. Van gives it up. And I tell you what, Colerain was there. But I tell you what, both their backs slippery.
Yeah, they are.
Slippery.
Boykin and Chico Robinson. And we haven't, again, seen a whole lot of them, but number 9, Juthan McLean. They're all smaller, slippery, fast guys. Which, again, Brandon, to your point, kind of belies the fact they have such a huge offensive line. So here we go now. First and goal for Fairfield. Colerain has got to find a way to keep them out of the end zone. There's the handoff once again to Boykin, and he takes it, just follows his big offensive line down inside the 5-yard line. Do we have any timeouts left for Fairfield?
One timeout for Fairfield, 45 seconds.
Plenty of time. They don't want any time left on his clock. So it's going to be 2nd and goal. Ball is on the, waiting for them to mark it here.
4.
What's on the 4-yard line? Good call, Brian.
25 seconds now.
Still in the shotgun. I don't understand that. Oh, we have whistles before the snap.
Play clock?
Timeout. Colerain.
Fairfield had lined up a little bit of power. They brought in a tight end. They had 2 in the backfield. I mean, they're exclusively out of the shotgun formation, but it's almost a power eye right dotted with the quarterback.
And this is really interesting kind of pace for Fairfield. Unless they throw on this down, they're only going to get one more shot at running the football in. Unless you're saying...
You mean just this one shot?
Well, if they run the ball and they get stopped, you have one timeout left.
So you get one more play is what you're saying.
I mean, it's a really interesting here. You would think they go to throw the ball because...
What down is it? Where are we? 3rd down? Is it 2nd down?
It's 2nd down.
2nd down? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the down's more...
So they have essentially they have 2 options. They're either going to run this ball here or throw it. Or throw it and run it. But they can't run it twice because then the clock will run out. Or... So or you're saying with these 2 downs, we're going to run the ball in.
But it's 2nd down.
The downs at this point doesn't matter. Okay. It's the clock at 19 seconds that matters.
So you don't think they can get 3 plays in?
I think if they call timeout or throw an incomplete pass, but you only have 1 timeout.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to run the field goal kicker on there. So Colerain Cardinals have to be wary that one of these next 2 plays is probably going to be a pass. Unless you're Fairfield and Coach Crouch just says, you know what, we're bigger than you up front, and we're just going to power through for 2 runs.
I can't for the life of me understand how you have an offensive line that big and that strong and the number 1 offensive tackle in the country, and you're lined up in shotgun.
So here we go.
So there was a flag, and they waved it off. I'm not sure what the flag was for, but whatever it was, they waved it off. So no impact there. So Jeff Tyus in the backfield. Tamir Boykin standing right next to him on his right side. Man in motion, snap is back. Tyus looks to throw, and it is incomplete. Broken up by number 8, Jakari Patterson on the play, and it is an incomplete pass. So the clock stops with 14 seconds left to go.
Sawaya Ellis went for him, just a play action slant 1-on-1. Patterson forces the ball into it.
Throw.
It's a good throw. Forces the ball in a bad spot. Ellis nearly had a miraculous catch, but can't get it on the second effort. Falls incomplete.
Yeah. Jakari Patterson undercut that route. If that ball is thrown at the chest of the receiver, it's an interception. He has to throw it high, which made it almost in catch, but almost a great play. And they're 3rd down.
3rd down and goal. Once again in the shotgun. Eric all in the backfield looking the block. He drops back, looks to pass, throws it out wide. Picked off by Javon Hicks.
On this side of the field.
There's nobody in front of him. Javon Hicks. It takes the ball out of the end zone. If he can beat Boykin, he's got it. Move, big fella, move, big fella, move, big fella. Touchdown, Cardinals!
You want to talk about a momentum swing right there. Colerain's defense trying to stop the Fairfield Indians for a score at halftime. What is the school record for interceptions for a touchdown? And it is unbelievable. He goes about 2 yards deep in the den?
It was about 105 yards.
105
by the way,
interception.
There's a flag. It is not a flag on the Cardinal return. It is a flag after the play.
Well, that was exciting.
The referee's
So
discussing.
107, 108-yard return
105.
touchdown?
105, I'd say.
I don't know what the school record is, but that's got to compete with
pretty
that.
high.
I thought Boykin, honestly, was going to
Boykin
get
had an
some.
angle, and I tell you what, as quick as Boykin is,
Boykin got there. Javon Hicks made him miss,
Yeah.
just stronger.
Well, he's taller, longer legs. Got a little bit on him. So there's a conversation here taking place right around the
And the Cardinals have no
40-yard
doubt
line.
that this is a touchdown. They have their kicking team out there.
Right. So that is a triple zeros on the clock. They haven't put the score up yet, but that should be a touchdown for the Cardinals. 105-yard interception return for Javon Hicks.
there's 2 flags on the play, so don't know if they're discussing that. They're talking about whether it's post-possession or something on Fairfield. If this gets against Colerain, watch for Coach Bolden's visor to fly.
What? These guys are walking around like they're totally confused. Now they're meeting again on the 30. I don't understand. Guys, we're going to lose this touchdown.
What? No, well, whether
We're going to lose it. They're going to take it away from us.
well,
And we're going to get an untimed play, I guess. I don't know.
no.
There's no such.
I wouldn't think
We're
so.
the defense.
Right.
Dead ball. It's dead ball. Personal foul on the Fairfield.
On
Indians.
Fairfield.
Dead ball.
Both ways, post-possession.
Penalties
They
offset.
It is a
Touchdown is good.
These referees are geniuses.
I would not say that. I would say that I'm appreciative that they took their time to figure out what happens on that play.
You were just arguing that they were taking too long. Now you're appreciating their time because it went your way.
Well, sometimes it's better to see the outcome.
You're a homer.
Yes, I am.
Exactly. That's why we love you. 102 yards, 103.
Snap is back. Hold is down on the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good. And an unbelievable turn of events. The Colerain Cardinals were looking to be down at halftime, and by Javon Hicks picking off a play in the end zone and taking it back 105 yards, they now lead the Fairfield Indians 17-6 at halftime at Fairfield. I'm exhausted.
That was a really good way to end a half.
You know they should do that every time.
Why don't they do that every time?
Again, it begs the question, and I have to ask.
Why wasn't Fairfield running the ball?
You line up in a
Fairfield should
shotgun with a 6'6", 350-pound monster, and you need 2 yards.
And that's why I was explaining. You have a situation where you can run the ball at least one time.
Right.
And if you get to the 1 yard line, you take the chance and say, hey, we're bigger, stronger, faster. We're going to get this
we
1
can
yard.
get 3 feet.
One pass play was effective for that, and that entire drive and almost the entire offense tonight has been 4, 5, 6 yards of carry.
And Javon Hicks is really good.
He is good. Also committed to the University of Cincinnati.
And he went a really long way.
Yeah, he did.
Like 100-plus yards for a touchdown.
And you know what? That completely makes up for the screw-up on the on the
Yeah,
on the
what are you
kickoff
talking about?
return.
No screw-ups. Perfect game. Player of the game, Javon Hicks, right here. Player of the half. Not player of the game, Javon Hicks.
Hey, we got 2 more quarters left to play.
All right,
At Fairfield, it's really going to be
So,
a test for the Colerain Cardinals. This
as a
game's not far from over.
Far from over. So, as a reminder, we're going to go radio silent here until about
5 minutes.
5 minutes on your radio dial or the clock here at Fairfield. As you can see at this really poor angle where, again, by OHSAA rules, we can't show you live game footage of away games. But we're going to give out some shout-outs.
Let's do
Live
it.
chat just blew up. We'll do that when we come back.
Great.
Or do we want to do it now?
Let's
We'll
do
do
it.
it now.
Let's do it now.
when we come back.
It's live. It's fresh. It's live. It's fresh. Let's do it
Shout
now.
out from Mark Strong, former Booster president. We got a shout out from grad assistant, former Colerain water boy, former Kings Knights, Kings Comets,
Kings Knights.
Kings Knights. Cook, 3-time starter for the Kings Knights. Coach Cook's
Cookie.
son, Kennedy Cook, now a GA for the Miami Redhawks,
Oh, that's right.
listening in. So thanks for that. Keontae Jones giving a shout out to Coach Joe. Trey Williams giving a shout out. Both of them want to let you know that it's cold. They cold.
They cold.
It's not cold here.
Hey, so we got Nebraska, Iowa, California. Where else have we been?
Miami of Ohio, not
Ohio.
Miami, Florida.
Still.
So keep listening. We'll keep bringing you game, and remember, up in that right hand
Up in the
More
upper
there.
right-hand corner, yeah, there's a
Donate.
little widget. We encourage you to click on that little widget, little circle with the eye in it, an opportunity to donate just a few dollars, whatever you've got, $5, $10, $20 to the Colerain Boosters. Real simple, done online in less than a minute. No long-term commitments. If you're appreciative and thankful for the broadcast and ability to have it, and quite frankly, how can't you be?
And we will.
Then we encourage you to do that right away.
We will apologize again. The camera is in a very taped and precarious position.
Yeah, it
Can't
is.
show you. I think Fairfield has more kids in their band than Colerain has at their school.
Well, it might be a middle school because there's a lot of them out there in just T-shirts.
There
It's
are
a
actually, yeah,
combination.
there's two bands out there. There's the Fairfield High School band, and then the guys, the people in the red shirts.
The little tiny kids.
Yeah, I think they're from a middle school. Which again, if you add up just
Either
all
way,
those red
that might
kids,
be bigger than the entire Colerain.
390 musicians. So almost 400 musicians.
390 is
on the
almost
field here.
400. Very observant, Chris.
Plus the flag corps.
Plus the flag corps.
So
Again, it's
over 400.
over 400 people on the field.
It's a big number. All right, I'm stepping away. Let's
I
go
will
radio
radio
silent.
silent. I'll get some scores here at halftime.
Thank you very much.
5 minutes left. Come back.
And we are back with halftime scores, and we were able to acquire some stats thanks to the couple Fairfield reporters on Twitter. So, while we're here, give a shout out to Dennis Hogel and Cynthia Merkt, listening with former assistant AD, one of my former teachers, Dan Merkt, listening from Cold Spring, Kentucky.
We got like 6 states listening tonight. It's awesome.
All right. So, scores from around the GMC. Hamilton, Lakota East, all tied up 7-7. Lakota East had some issues there. They had some suspensions, so they are down a couple players, but they are down, tied 7-7 with Hamilton. Lakota West, 21. Middletown, nothing. Sycamore, 35. Oak Hills, nothing. And the big surprise in the GMC at halftime, Princeton 0, Mason 0. So big game for Princeton.
Big game.
Princeton can win out, and that it's like 0.000% chance of making the playoffs, but they can make the playoffs. So elsewhere around the area in the GCL, LaSalle leads Akron St. Vincent St. Mary 10-0. St. Xavier leads Clarkson, Ontario.
Canada.
Now, it's a very different Canada team. Usually those Canada teams are like rural communities or whatever. This is the Canadian team they're playing. Clarkson is a Canadian all-star team. Kids from all over Canada. Specially put together because to play American-style football. That being said, St. X leads 40-0 at halftime.
40?
40-0.
Nice.
Big matchup in the GCL. Elder trailed early 14-0 to Winton Woods, but they have stormed back, and at half, Winton Woods 14, Elder 14. Elsewhere, Division I matchups of note, Milford leads Withrow 17-0. Milford wins out. The former GMC team will host a playoff game. Elsewhere, first year in school history, West Claremont also has a chance to make the playoffs in Division I in Region 4. They lead Loveland 7-0. Mount Healthy leads Northwest 10-0. Springboro leads Fairborn 26-0. Wayne trailed 14-7 to Kettering Fairmont. They've tied it at halftime. Kettering Fairmont 14. Huber Heights Wayne 14. The big matchup in the Dayton area this evening. Undefeated Centerville playing Northmont. Northmont leads Centerville 21-7. Centerville coming off a big win. They beat this Fairfield team earlier in the year and beat Wayne last week. The other big game of note, everyone wrote them off. The Moeller Crusaders are beating the #1 team in the state, the St. Ignatius Wildcats in Cleveland, 23-13 at halftime in Cleveland.
That's unbelievable.
What's unbelievable, I should have told you ahead of time, that's on Time Warner Cable. Will be playing later on this evening, and I'm DVRing it.
Just so you know, Moeller leads at halftime.
Thank you, son.
Well, but that doesn't mean anything, because
dislike you.
I promise you the rest of the game is...
And that's your halftime scores.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right, again, and those scores brought to you by our Colerain Booster corporate sponsors. Again, thank you to Arab Pest Control, Fast Signs, Friedoff Accounting, Friendship Baptist Church, Holding Realtors, Joseph Toyota Cincinnati, Langdon Meats and Fine Wines, La Rose's, Life Touch, Long Schaefer and Company, Northwest Association of Educators, Queen City Running, Supercuts, Thrive in Financial, Susan Bennett, Underground Sports Shop, The Cardinal Corner, Valley Metalworks, Kona Ice, Midwest Stonescapes, Quaker State, Plato's Closet, Game On Sports, and Joe Capel's Landscaping.
I swear we said go faster with our hand signals, and he just went slower.
Get to the stats.
Anyways, from the depths of Twitter, we have found the halftime stats.
Actually, we retweeted the halftime stats, so you can see them on Twitter at We Are Colerain.
Score 17-6, Colerain Cardinals lead. Fairfield outgaining first downs 9-7 on the Cardinals. 29 yards rushing for the Colerain Cardinals to 115 for the Fairfield Indians. But the Colerain Cardinals have countered with 90 passing yards, 9 for the Fairfield Indians. 4 of 5 is Gunnar Leyendecker for 100 for those 90 yards. Total offense, 119 yards for the Colerain Cardinals, 124 for the Fairfield Indians. 1 fumble return for the Fairfield Indians and 1 muffed fumble return. 2 turnovers in favor of the Fairfield Indians. Time of possession, Fairfield dominated 13 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes for the Colerain Cardinals, so not a huge advantage there. Individual stats for the Colerain Cardinals, 40 net yards rushing. That does not. There's got to be some error because there's no way Ivan Pace has 40 net yards, and they only have 29 net rushing yards. There's got to be an error somewhere there. Anyway, individually, Ivan Pace, 7 carries, 40 yards. J.J. Davis, 4 carries, 21 yards. Sincere Jones, 1 carry, 9 yards. Leinendecker, 5 carries, 3 yards. For the Indians, Tamir Boykin, 13 carries for Boykin for 90 yards and a touchdown, averaging nearly 7 yards a touch. McLean with 4 carries for 16 yards. Chico Robinson, 3 carries, 7 yards. Jeff Tyus, 4 carries for 2 yards.
I'm sorry, did you say Chico Robinson has 7 yards?
And he has more than 3 carries.
Yeah.
I'm just reporting what is on the stats generated by the Fairfield staff. All right?
Yeah,
don't take it out on me.
We can stop reading those right now because they're wrong. They're just wrong.
Well, elsewhere, Gunnar Leinendecker is 4 or 5 for 90 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Tyus is 0 for... Yeah, that's all wrong because they got Eric All throwing a pass. Yeah, that can't be right. Either way, Javon Hicks, blah, blah, blah. He has 2 punt returns and a muffed punt. Ivan Pace has 5 tackles. Jakari Patterson has 5 tackles. Luke Bolden, Dan Bolden have 5 tackles. Raekwon Williams with 6 tackles. Dell Thomas with 5 tackles. Sean Bell with 3 tackles. Raylon Lindsay with 3 tackles. More importantly, Javon Hicks with a 105-yard touchdown interception return to end the half. Colerain Cardinals lead 17-6 at halftime. I'm just making up things at this point.
Colerain, you know what? The 3 turnovers. Colerain still with the lead, but the big turnover, as you said, the big momentum swing. Fairfield running down the clock, want to score and get, if not the lead, very close to Colerain there as half ends, but the huge turnover, the momentum swing. It goes from being a close game to 2 scores.
And 2 very big turnovers where the Colerain Cardinals set up 1 touchdown, and it looked like that the muffed punt was going to set up another touchdown, at least a field goal for the Fairfield Indians. But Javon Hicks, as time expires, takes it 100-plus yards, gives the Colerain Cardinals the halftime lead.
And as we said, Colerain Cardinals had won the toss and deferred to the second half. So they can, if they can come out here and score again and assert themselves and get a 3rd score up, though as quickly as this clock went the first half, Colerain's going to be got 2 running teams. It's going to force Fairfield to go to the air, which was something they don't want to do.
And this will be the first actual kickoff in a normal circumstance for the Colerain Cardinals, as that first kickoff after the personal foul was a weird kickoff situation. Really wasn't a true kickoff return, so we'll get to see J.J. Davis and Sear Jones make a play here deep.
I did receive a text message from the one and only Mike Dyer of WCPO.com, who told me that the 104-yard interception return for Javon Hicks was a school record. Now, I asked him to give me his source on that, who confirmed that. I'm assuming it's probably Dan Bolden.
He can go to wearecolerain.com. I believe it is archived on our website.
Give me a second.
I don't think it is.
I'll delve the
internet.
internet.
You know what we need to look at? Mr. Dyer, if you're listening, look up at that kickoff rule.
Yeah, he's not listening, but
he's much smarter than all of us combined.
And just a quick reminder for those of you who are listening, again, thank you for joining tonight's broadcast, brought to you by wearecolerain.com, and most importantly by the Colerain Boosters, people like you every day that donate whatever you can to help the literally thousands of students that are affected in extracurricular activities at both Colerain High School and Colerain Middle School, as well as White Oak Middle School, all affected and helped by the generosity of the Colerain Boosters. As a reminder, what I was going to say is, if for some reason you can't watch or listen to the game on any Friday night, really want to encourage you to load Twitter onto your phone, and you don't have to post anything. You can just follow some folks, and if you don't follow anybody, you must follow at We Are Colerain, and I'll tell you why. Our founder, Jason Helfrich, who came up with this idea way back in 2004 and started with a little mild blog, is on the field every Friday night, and he's taking live clips of plays, exciting plays, and things that happen during the game, scores and things like that, and he posts them on Twitter. So it is a immediate reaction to what's happening in the game. And let me tell you, Twitter is blowing up tonight. Really on the heels of that 104.
According to the athletic records that are on the Colerain Alumni Association, there is no posted record for longest interception return.
So Colerain gets the ball here. It's a squib kick right across the middle. It's going to be picked up inside the 20-yard line, taken out to the 25. It's going to be met by about 3 tacklers, and there's the whistle. And it's going to be taken out to about the 26-yard line, which is where Colerain will have 1st and 10, as we recall in the first half. Colerain kicked off to Fairfield. They deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half. Up 17-6 over the Fairfield Indians.
Yeah, Fairfield not wanting the big return, just squibs the ball up the middle. J.J. Davis does a good job. You know, when you got an oblong ball, you don't get the true hop, so the defense was able to collapse. Minimal gain, but decent field possession. Colerain 25.5, 26 yards.
You know, we've had listeners from Kentucky, Iowa, California. Scott listening in wants to know he's listening down on West Fork Road.
That's impressive. Gunnar Leyendecker under center. Takes the ball, hands it off right across the middle. Ivan Pace has got it. He gets it out to about the 30-yard line.
Slip that 6 yards. Thanks, Scott, for listening.
And to be clear, I just got another text from Mike Dyer. He was asking if that was it. If that was it. Well, Mike, how about we put a question mark at the end of your statement so I know it's a question and not a statement.
You would think a professional writer.
Well, but he's down there, right?
I know, I'm just kidding. He does a lot for the high school sports.
Oh, and he has for
years.
Great guy. He's tremendous. Guys like him and Adam Baum they're really great. Casano, I mean, it goes on and on, their dedication to high school athletics in this city. We're very blessed with our media.
2nd and 6.
Gunner takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, tries to get around the end, and he does. He's going to have enough for the first down. Holds on to it and gets it out to about the 30, we'll call it the 38-yard line, maybe the 39.
That's just a simple two-man inside veer option there to the weak side of the formation. But I'll tell you what, Raekwon Williams might be keeping this Fairfield defense.
Is that 24?
That's number 4. Number 4.
Oh, 4 on the other side.
He's made tackles on the edge where the Colerain Cardinals, he might have given up in a couple extra yards. But the Colerain Cardinals have one-on-one situations where they could have busted a big play, and he's contained them.
So Gunner take it now. It's a speed pitch out to J.J. Davis, who's going to take it around the right side. He's got some room to run. He's by one guy. He's got one man to beat if he can outrun him. He's into the end zone, and he does! J.J. Davis may have just blown the roof off of Fairfield. Touchdown, Cardinals!
Just a simple outside veer this time to the strong side of the formation, out of the I formation. Fairfield Indians quickly make Gunnar Leyendecker take the fullback, take Gunnar Leyendecker. He gets the pitch out. And right after I gave Raekwon Williams credit, Javon Hicks blocks him not only 20 yards downfield, but into the Fairfield bench. Sincere Jones seals the outside. J.J. Davis has the edge, cut back downfield to beat the safety as the extra point is pending. And then J.J. Davis, he fast, and no one going to catch him.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. Again, that not a pretty one by Mangold again, but he got it through. And the Colerain Cardinals, on the effects of 2 huge plays, now lead the Fairfield Indians 24-6 with 10:40 to go in the third quarter.
That play was a perfect Colerain option play. You had your fullback read, you had your quarterback forced to make a pitch, you had your second wing back making a fantastic seal block on the outside, you had the veer block sealing the linebackers over top, your wide receiver. Unbelievable block, Javon Hicks downfield. J.J. Davis gets one-on-one with the safety, and like I said, he fast, and he makes the man miss, and there ain't nobody catching him. 6 points, extra point 7, 24-6, Colerain Cardinals.
And I tell you what, can't go do anything with that offensive line.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about this defensive line from Fairfield all night, but again, a great play, T.J. Ganella, Jacob Davis, Aaron Schwender, Feth Kroger, really battling down there tonight.
So Fairfield, let's rewind a little bit here as Colerain sets up the ball to punt. They were down 10-6. Driving at 2 yards away from putting the ball in the end zone, potentially going up, potentially maybe 13-10, right? There's the kickoff taken at the 10-yard line by Chico Robinson. He's pausing, looking for some room, and stays on his feet, but he is taken down inside the 20. We'll call it the 16-yard line. They're at the 2-yard line in the shotgun. We talked about this ad nauseum during halftime.
They have 19 seconds. They have 3 plays. They can run the ball. They can pass twice. They can kick a field goal if they don't get the first 2 downs.
What could have been a 13-10 potentially Fairfield lead at halftime.
And at a very minimum, 10-9.
Right. At a very minimum, 10-9 if they kick the field goal. Now, with 2 huge plays, and I didn't get the yardage on that one. They were, at the 38? Is that when they took off the 38?
So 62.
62-yard touchdown run by J.J. Davis and a 104-yard interception return by Javon Hicks. The big play Cardinals have come to remind the Fairfield Indians who's boss of the GMC, and they now lead 24-6.
So Fairfield probably forced to throw here. They've got
Not
big
yet.
strike
They got
capability,
plenty of time
but they do need an answer on this drive.
Well, their strength is running the ball, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to hand it right over the middle, and there's going to be positive yards gained there. Would love to see a turnover. There's Jackson Carmen blocking pretty heavy down the field, and the head ref is all over it. He's watching Ivan Pace to make sure that Ivan doesn't
Well, here's the thing.
retaliate.
Jackson Carmen and Ivan Pace were the two who got the flags on the Javon Hicks touch. If Carmen or Pace get another personal foul, they are both ejected and they miss next week.
Well, whichever one gets the personal foul is ejected.
Yeah, not both. They're not
Right.
both ejected. If
Right.
either one gets it.
So it is 5 yards on the gain, 2nd down and 5. Fairfield again, shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back.
No offset eye. Chico Robinson in motion. He takes the handoff. He's going to try and run around the right side and find some room. He stops. The defense forces him to cut back, and Ivan Pace shuts that thing down.
He gets around the big offensive tackle and seals him in, forces him inside. He picked up 5 on 1st down, but this time he loses 4 on 2nd down.
Hopefully
so
he gets
down
out.
to 9.
Chico Robinson looked like he kind of got rolled up on that play after that. He got tackled initially, tried to fight for extra yardage, and kind of got bent over the pile.
Yeah, referees called a timeout, but he's up and he walked off on his own power.
Chico Robinson has been a very good player in this game, and he does get up under his own power. Set to play. It'll be 3rd down and 9. 4.
To your point, this is a big series for Fairfield, Brian. You laid it. They really need to kind of answer here. If nothing else, just a sustained drive. Man in motion is number 9. Tyus drops back, looks to pass, throws it into the flat, caught and then dropped immediately. Maybe heard footsteps coming. Either way, incomplete pass. Fairfield 3 and out.
And Peyton Brown and Tyus went through his progression. The Cardinals were covering the deep. They were covering the down markers. He had to throw down to the flat. Peyton Brown would have had to make a move on Deshaun Pace to get the 1st down, and he went to make the move before he fully caught the ball. Drops it, incomplete. 4th down, and the Indians will punt.
Be punting inside their own 5. Javon Hicks setting up at the 45. A little deeper last time, kind of caught him off guard with a good kick.
I can't believe that they would punt it to Javon Hicks. There's a high punt. Fair catch caught by Javon Hicks inside his own territory, but all the way up at the 40, we'll call it the 47-yard line, which is where they're going to mark it, and that's where the Colerain offense will take over once again here in the 3rd quarter, leading the Fairfield Indians 24-6.
And I like what I saw on that play right there. It's not going to show up anywhere, but you saw Deshaun Pace blocking down the field. Him and his guy he was blocking down the field kind of got into it, trying to fight, trying to block. And
established position.
Well, and they kind of kept going after the whistle. And you saw 2 guys that aren't ever going to show up. You saw Javante Turnich and Alonzo Kendricks, 2 senior DBs that don't play except for special teams. They came up to him and said, just kind of pulled him away.
Pulled Deshaun off.
2 seniors that don't get a lot of playing time,
right,
making a play on special teams. That's another 15 yards they just saved the Colerain Cardinals.
J.J. Davis in motion. There's a fake handoff to Gunner. Fakes it. Pitches it to Sincere Jones. Looking for some room. Plants his foot. Lowers his shoulder. Gets out across the 50-yard line. It's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play.
That play just an option to the weak side. And Raekwon Williams does a great job getting off the block. But Sincere shows a little bit of power right there. Runs through the block where nothing was there. He gained 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Josh Huber blocking Raekwon Williams. That play was really slow developing. As a wide receiver, you want to block, but it's hard to hold in open space that block that long. And Sincere piles through.
Oh, it's easy to hold. You're just not allowed doing it.
Yep. There's a pass out to, didn't see who got it.
DSM.
Okay, Deontay Smith-Moore, DSM, takes it out to the up to the into Fairfield territory, down to the 46-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, from the wingback position, DSM, he just kind of swings out there. It's almost a 2-man screen. He follows the block of his wide receiver.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt, but have you guys noticed a difference and I'm sure the opponent makes a difference here, but in terms of the type of throws that we're seeing from Gunner this week versus last week? We saw a lot of missed receivers last week on long passes down the field. Here we're seeing more of that lateral stuff. Again, maybe it's the defense we're playing.
Yeah,
he's just a lot more accurate tonight, a lot more confidence you can see in him. He takes the ball. This time somebody went the wrong way. He turned to his right to hand it off, and the runner went to the left.
Let's be
First miscue of the night.
Let's be honest, that was all Malik Van. There was a little bit of a miscue, but that was Malik Van blowing up the play at the point of the attack.
Coach Bolden is making his way out. He's going to have a little conversation with his senior quarterback. Wants to understand what happened.
He's talking to his quarterback and his fullback.
Yep.
So whether it was signaled in wrong, whether it was received wrong, or whether they just went the wrong direction, somebody on the wrong page.
Coach Bolden is not happy. I'm not sure if he's talking to a player or a coach.
No, he's looking for Ivan Pace because he's supposed to be out there on the punt team.
Oh. Well, there he is, runs out onto the field still for the punt team.
Play clock down to 5.
He'll get it off. Lawson Sandusky back. He's got it, and he punts it. Good punt. Bounces. Caught. Oh, that Fairfield player was good to catch that ball. Is that I can't even know number 83. That's Eric All, the tight end. He takes it and gets hit out of bounds. Good, solid hit. I think that was number 24 on the hit for Colerain.
It was Javante Turner who made the tackle initially, and Luke Bolden who made the big hit as he was going down.
Well, I tell you what, that was heard a collective ooh from the crowd, but I said ooh because I didn't want anybody to get hurt there. That was a violent hit there on the sidelines.
It is not a contact sport, right? What do they call it?
But you had two 200-pound men just running at full bore. Went
it's really interesting that your big Eric All is the punt returner. You think you'd have one of those more slippery, fast guys like Chico Robinson.
Well, they've had Chico back there.
Well, Chico got hurt on the last possession.
Oh, that's a good point.
So he could be the backup, but showed some wheels right there.
So first down and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Fairfield trailing 24-6. 3 and out on their first series this half. Let's see what the Cards can do here. There's Tyus, and what is that?
That's a backward lateral.
He threw the ball backwards. It's going to end up with positive yards on the play. He's going to get probably 7 yards on that play, but
another monster hit. Sincere Jones this time comes up from his defensive
Well, that was a miscue in the backfield. He wanted to put it out basically for the read option.
Yep.
And the running back wasn't there. He wanted to give it.
Right, but he wasn't.
But he wasn't, so he just threw it like, and I don't know if that'll be officially a forward pass or not.
No, that's definitely behind.
Definitely backwards. Either way, it was
picked up 4 yards.
Yeah, picked up 4 yards on the play.
Probably would have got more if he would have handed off initially.
Yep.
And had to slow down his momentum.
Yep. So second down and 6. Man in motion. Tyus takes it, hands it off over the middle once again. Some holes there. Mir Boykin's got it. He's going to take it out short of the 40-yard line. It's going to be very close to a first down. They're at the 38.
Again, the motion to the left, the jet sweep from right to left kind of draws the linebackers, kind of freezes them a little bit. Jakari Patterson does a good job coming up from safety. They do not get the first down.
How about that?
Third down at about the length of a football.
I thought they'd give it to him.
Well, he needs.
Yeah, they
he
marked
needs the 38,
short.
and the ball is short of 38.
He's not there. So third down. So just literally getting, again, here's a situation where you got Jeff Tyus, who's 6'4", in a shotgun. He's going to turn what needs to be a foot into about a 5-yard gain. There's a stop. We'll see where they mark it. I think he's going to get it.
Yeah.
He got it.
So he needed about 3-4 inches to get the 38-yard line.
He got about 19 inches on that play.
Yeah, he got about 19 inches on the play. Officially, actually, it'll be marked down at the 40. So
at this point,
he got 27 inches on the play.
So at this point, now that we're done with our math and measurements, really, let's talk a little bit about the clock here. If they're going to continue to run the football, to your point earlier, Brian, we're now under 5 minutes in the third quarter. Clock is Colerain's friend.
Yeah, Colerain can't get too conservative, but either can Fairfield.
Yeah, there's a handoff across the middle once again. Good pursuit by the Colerain defense. Going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Yeah. We can do this the whole half. That's fine.
It's a 3-score game.
Right.
Even if you get 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, it still makes it 24-22.
I tell you, I was Brendan Hobbs on the stop there, along with it was Dan Bolden. But I'll tell you what, Hobbs, 2 big sacks for today, and has done a good job. One of your seniors, 5'7", 200 pounds. Not
against this offensive lineman. He's got 2 sacks.
Yep.
Snap is back to Tyus. This time he runs a kind of an option, keeps it, and tries to take it down low. Taken down, I believe that was number 5, Ivan Pace, on the tackle.
Yeah, really good play by Ivan Pace, and what he did is he made Tyus not make a decision. Tyus kind of edged his bet, kind of kept going. Kept
looking for that
and
move.
He didn't. If he would have made a play the outside, Pace was there to make the outside. If he cuts inside, that's where Dan Bolden closed it off, but he just never made a decision.
Well, if he doesn't make a decision, doesn't he still make a choice?
No existentialism here.
He absolutely does, Brian. You're right. By not making a decision, he made a choice.
A rush reference. How about that?
Third down and 6. Perching midfield. Snap is back. Tyus drops back. Looks to pass. Got time. There's a man in motion. It's a dead duck out to number 1. He catches it. Gets the first down. Chico Robinson all the way down inside Colerain territory. There are some folks stomping upstairs above us. I don't think some coaches are particularly happy with the amount of time Jeff Tyus had on that.
Yeah, and if you're the Colerain defense, you got to get to the quarterback because that was Jeff Tyus. That was just the safety outlet but no one was on Chico Robinson, and wide open in the flat. The Cardinal secondary was all over that play, had everyone covered, but if you don't get time to the quarterback, that one man can kind of slip out, and the coverage is not designed to pick up that one extra man.
Yep.
Again, taking a long time to get the play in. Fairfield a little bit confused, looking
They're
to call a timeout.
They're going to have to use a timeout here.
You know, I saw Chico Robinson.
Oh, that's huge.
Chico Robinson, again, after that play, he's limping. So, you know, one of your biggest playmakers out there. I'm not sure if they just didn't have the personnel that they wanted, but a great job, Colerain, to just kind of run. It's too early to start talking about the clock, but it's not too early to start talking about the clock with 3 scores down. I'm surprised with that much time they haven't taken a shot deep, but Colerain has taken away the long ball and says, okay, beat us underneath. Again, one more thanks to our Colerain Boosters corporate sponsors, and if you want to be one of our sponsors, just find our contact page on our homepage and join the family.
Yeah, the email address is membership@colerainboosters.com.
Yeah, so again, Arab Pest Control, Fast Signs, Friedhoff Accounting, Friendship Baptist Church, Holding Realtors, Joseph Toyota, Cincinnati, Langdon Meats and Fine Wine, La Roses, Life Touch, Long Schaefer and Company, Northwest Association of Educators, Queen City Running, Supercuts, Thrivent Financial, and we've got a first down right here. We'll get to the rest of you guys after that. So first down, ball spotted at the Colerain 42, still under the shotgun.
Tice once again pitches it out to number 31,
That
Boykin, who's got it.
Right there.
I guess not. He's going to take it all the way down into Colerain territory inside the 30 for another Fairfield first down.
Swings it out there. The wide receiver out there, number 4, gets the takedown. No holding called. Interesting. But again, Thrivent Financial, Susan Bennett, Underground Sports Shop, the Colerain Cardinal Corner, Valley Metalworks, Kona Ice, Midwest Stonescapes, Quaker Steak, Plato's Closet, Game On Sports, and Joe Cappell's Landscaping.
So first down and 10 for Fairfield at the Colerain 28-yard line. As again, we've got a counter. Once again, the handoff is to Boykin. They're going to ride Boykin as much as they possibly can, and I'm all right with that because I just love saying his name.
There's a lot of alliteration in the name. Boykin.
A couple more shout-outs. We got.
I don't think that's alliteration.
Again,
but I appreciate
remember
the
this is YouTube screen names. Sticky Pickle, giving a shout out to his daughters Amber and Ashley, former students at Colerain. Mark Strong, I think he must have fell asleep on the keyboard putting random letters on there.
Wake up, Mark. Here we go. Second down. No gain on that play. Tyus Strauss back, looks to pass, throws it across the middle, and is hit off and intercepted.
Dan Bolden's
got it. He's got one man to beat. He's not going to beat him because it's Boykin back there, but he lowers his helmet, drops it, and takes it all the way back to the Fairfield 27-yard line.
So a nice play. He just dropped back there in the coverage, playing a little bit of a zone in the middle. At Miles, man-to-man on the outside, tips it up to himself. Does a great job carrying it and takes it all the way down to the Fairfield. Where the ball marked at the 27?
27-yard line. First and 10, Colerain.
And Mark Strong would like to apologize for the keyboard mishap. He would, though, like to congratulate my father on the rush reference.
A very, very rare sign of expression of happiness from defensive coordinator Sean Cutright. He has got to be very excited about the way his defense is playing tonight.
Well, Colerain is now on offense on the 27 of Fairfield. Back to the I formation.
There's the handoff right across the middle. Ivan Pace has got it, and no one's going to catch him. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
I tell you what, when it rains, it pours right here. Colerain after a big turnover and score.
You missed Coach Bolden. He came off the sideline out to all the fans and behind the cheerleaders, imploring everyone to yell and scream, and that's exactly what they're doing. The Colerain Cardinals have blown the doors off this game.
So a big play by Dan Bolden takes it down there, and Ivan Pace takes it the rest of the way. 27 yards for the touchdown. Extra point pending.
Speaking of Boldens, listening in, Julie Bolden would like to give a big shout out, wanting to know everyone to know, yes, her brother does have hands as he made the interception that set up that Ivan Pace touchdown.
That is his second or third interception of the year. I'm going to go back and check the stats as we wait the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Mangold perfect on the night with a field goal and 4 extra points? 4 extra points, and with 1:29 left to go in the third quarter, the Colerain Cardinals have come to Fairfield and dropped 31 on the Indians, who only give up 12.7 points per game and are the number 1 defense in the GMC. At least they were before this game.
And 2 things coming in. we saw the turnovers. We thought those were going to be a big deal. First half, 2 turnovers by the Colerain Cardinals.
Yep, kept it close.
Kept it close.
Yep.
Right? They gave up a touchdown on one. The third, they thought they were going to give up another touchdown in the second one. They reverse it, get their own interception, take it back, score. 2 turnovers here in this half by the Fairfield Indians and set up 2 scores for the Colerain Cardinals.
I think maybe now, Brian, we get a better idea as to why it is we don't see Jeff Tyus throwing the ball a lot. He is a junior, so they're obviously, and he's
a basketball player. He's not. It's not like he's been playing quarterback since he was
9. No question. He's learning. He's growing. It's his first year as a starter. Yes, you're in week 8. I get it, right? But when you've got a defense as good as Colerain's defense is, and you're Jeff Tyus, and now you've thrown 2 picks, you can see immediately he's getting a little skittish out there.
Well, just kind of watching the little slight attitude change. Fairfield kind of heads down. There's still another quarter.
Yeah, you saw that interception by Bolden. The offensive line didn't even. Boykin made the tackle because he was there.
Right.
The offensive line didn't even they're just deflated. They're kids, and there's nothing against them. As Mangold's kick will be fielded by Williams at the 5-yard line.
He's going to reverse fields, take it to the 4, the 5, trying to find some space here. Got a little bit of room, but the Colerain defense is there, and they're on him. Boy, I tell you what.
Between him and Chico Robinson.
They got some dudes. I mean, Fairfield's got some dudes, as Coach Bolden loves to say.
I tell you, Colerain's got a player down on that. Their teammates are yelling directly to the trainers. The trainers, Jason and John and JR, do a great job here.
Well, if it was Javon, he's up and running, and the trainer just now he's walking off with Javon. So.
The Javon Hicks has kind of got the same body structure as AJ Green.
Yeah, but he's not that tall, right?
He's not that tall, but he's got the same kind of build where when he gets tackled, it just looks awkward.
Yeah, it does.
And it's just like
I feel like AJ Green's going to break his legs every time he gets tackled.
But he doesn't. He just gets back up, and it's just like Javon Hicks sort of has that same body structure.
Yep.
So that ball is going to be spotted at the Fairfield 23.
Be first down and 10 for the Indians. Snap is back. Tyus looks to pass. Ivan Pace came in, tried to make the tackle. Defense was there to clean it up, but he's going to pick up about 1 yard on the play.
And again, you can reach us in the booth at radioweircolerain.com or directly in the live chat.
Love to hear from you in the live chat. How many people we got listening or watching?
We can go directly
14,000.
We can go directly to the
7.
Directly to the analytics. Currently, we are at
almost 200.
200.
We need to get that number up. I want to double that. I bet it'll be double by the time we get to playoffs. A lot more than that.
So a gain of 2 on the play.
Second down and 8. Snap is back to Tyus. He rolls to his left, looking for some room. Pitches it backwards. Good tackles made. Once again, Boykin. He is the man on the night. He's going to pick up about 5, maybe 6 yards on that play. It'll be third down.
And it was just like one of the corner options. It was a really good play by both teams.
Yep.
Colerain run the option. The defense strungs it out, makes a play. Here, Tyus and the Fairfield offense runs the option to the sideline. They do a really good job of taking what the defense gives them. Both teams kind of stand their ground, and that's why you get the 4-yard gain, setting up the third down.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 5.
Yep. You're right there. You can see a sense of kind of depression on the side of the
These are 15, 16, 17,
yeah, they're kids, right? I mean,
as that'll be the final play
of the third quarter. Yep.
So after 3 quarters of play here at Fairfield High School, it's the Colerain Cardinals 31, the Fairfield Indians 6.
This broadcast brought to you by the Colerain Boosters.
And all of our individual and corporate sponsors.
If you want to be an individual sponsor, it's the same way. You can click on our link and donate tonight, but you can also go to our website and join the boosters.
So let me talk about how that's done, because we got a really cool new thing this year. If you're not sure, you don't want to donate $5. Let's say you don't want to donate $5 or $10 tonight by clicking on the widget in the upper right-hand corner. I get it. You think, you know what? I want to give more because I want to be a part of something really special. And that's what the Colerain Boosters have been to the Colerain community since 1964. One of the oldest booster organizations in the city. If you want to give a little bit more, you want to, kind of think about it and be thoughtful about your giving, and then you're ready to make that commitment, all kinds of opportunity for you. We want you to go right to the website, and underneath Boosters, the very first option, and I apologize, I don't know where it's on here, but it talks about booster membership. You can click on that, and we have an online giving form that you can go in and you can select what level you'd like to give. You can decide whether or not you'd like to do it as a one-time donation. You can decide whether or not you'd like to maybe spread it out over a period of time to make a larger donation, but yet smaller on an annual amount. It can all be processed online within less than a minute, and you're now part of the Colerain Cardinal Booster family, and we cannot be more appreciative enough for you honestly thinking about that and making a donation.
3rd down and 5, Fairfield at their own 26-yard line.
So big 3rd down for the Fairfield offense. They want to try and get back in this game. Tyus drops back, looks to pass, immediately tucks it, tries to find something in the middle, and then is immediately taken down.
Hobbs. For the 3rd time this evening, Brennan Hobbs, all 5'7", 213 pounds, 3 sacks against this vaunted Fairfield offensive line.
And I'll tell you what, I'm reminded as I look here on the sideline, we kind of forget Eric Phillips hasn't even played in this game. I mean, when he gets back and he's healthy and you've got another edge-type rusher, this defense is going to be very hard for anybody to score on.
Get a shout-out on the live chat to Teresa Strong. We get the punt here back. Hicks is not called for a fair catch.
He caught it at his own 45-yard line, trying to run around the side, make some men miss. He's going to get pushed back 5 yards. He's still on his feet.
Just flag way on the other side of the field.
Yep. He gets pushed out of bounds.
And UC commit Javon Hicks. And UC commit.
Is that who took him out? The Malik Band?
And the cool thing was, I think, obviously they're both commits, so they're in contact with each other. They both went up to each other, and they just kind of like, we're out of bounds. All right, good play, good play.
Yeah, exactly.
And Coach Bowden, he
gave Van a big hug.
Coach Bowden did not speak more highly of Malik Van. Just hey, man, good play.
Great play.
Did you see Van standing next to Coach Bowden, though?
Yeah, Malik Van. I'm just saying, Luke Fickle struggling with the recruits, the kids he's got at UC now. You get Javon Hicks.
Yeah, people really need to be patient with Coach Fickle.
You get Javon Hicks, you get Malik Van.
You got a Bolden there already.
You get a couple more Boldens there. You know, you get it going.
If you're a UC fan, you need to be patient, and it's not 1 year. This is a 3-year process to get this program to where he can get it to.
1st down, Cardinals.
So let's see what they can do here. They're 1st down and 10 at their own 33-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, back to the I formation. Colerain not going to do anything fancy, but they have widened the split slightly in the offensive line.
Yep, 31-6 now. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace. He takes it. Oh, no, he fakes it. My bad. Gunner faked me out, kept it. Great gang tackling by Fairfield, but not really break up 7 yards.
Here's the thing. You were even more faked out than I thought humanly possible because Ivan Pace is standing on the sidelines. That was DSM.
Oh, sorry.
Deontay Smith-Moore in at fullback.
I thought it was a 5 on his shirt.
So, and not only that, he made the fullback fake out of bounds, came back. No, it was just a simple
Chris
option.
is the only one in the booth that every week brings binoculars.
Yeah, I do.
And you do
right here in my hand. I've been using them for almost every play, and that one I missed. It's been it's been 3 or 4 games since I did that.
It's exciting. A 5 looks like a 6 sometimes.
Sometimes.
So. 2nd down and 5.
I formation. Gunnar Leyendecker fakes a pitch, or fakes the handoff, pitches it to Sincere Jones, who's got it around end. He's got enough for the 1st down, but there's a flag. That one more than likely is coming back.
Yeah, I think they're going to call J.J. Davis for the hold on the edge. It will not be...
It's past the 1st down marker.
It's downfield, so it'll be about 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 when this comes back.
Yeah, Gunner does a great job holding on to the last minute. Kind of comes up a little bit limping there. It always kind of scares me when he takes a hit. He's been prone to injuries. Looks fine, pops up now. But I tell you what, I'd like to see Sincere get the ball more. I mean, you take what the defense gives you, but he shows his explosiveness. You know, he gets maybe 4 or 5 touches a game, and I'm always holding my breath every time he touches the ball. He can go the distance, but after the penalty, it is a 2nd down and 9.
Real quickly, just saw a couple of minutes ago, really special here. Want to give a shout out to Susan Bennett, who mentioned that she's watching the game or listening to the game with Aunt Kathy, who's thrilled, and we're so happy and excited that you're able to listen in and enjoy the broadcast. Thank you so much. Gunner under center. Takes the ball this time and does hand it over the middle. Not sure who got it.
DSM.
Okay, so I think they've taken Ivan probably out of the game for good, is my guess.
On offense.
Yeah, on offense. Yeah. Ivan been playing both ways, as does a whole bunch of not a whole bunch, but several of the Colerain players. And then at a 3rd down and short, Ivan Pace goes into the ball game along with Luke and Dan Bolden.
Yep, so out comes Sincere, out comes DSM. In goes Luke and
Actually,
Bolden.
Luke stayed out. That's just Dan in there.
So 3rd down and 1. Clock continues to move now. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. Colerain leading 31-6. There's the handoff right over the middle.
That's enough for the first down.
It's going to be enough for the 1st down, right in the middle of the field. Clock will stop to move the chains, and you really can't speak enough once again for the big playability that Colerain brought into this game. The first half, because as a result of their 2 turnovers early on, it looked like this was going to be a very close game. But to your point, the big playability of not only the offense, but even more so, the defense to turn this thing around and put the Cardinals where they're at right now is very impressive.
The strength of this defense is in their defensive backs and linebackers. You know, give credit to the guys up front a lot. I mean, they rush, but this
True.
is
Their jobs is to get blocked.
This is not the
Right.
deepest and most talented defensive line, but they do a great job that frees up the athletes behind them.
God, Malik Van's really good.
Yeah.
God, he just blew up. That ball's loose, maybe.
It's loose. He blew up the center into the mesh. DSM, Decker had it blown out. The ball was out of bottom. I don't know how it has it.
Well, Fairfield seemed to think they got it, and they may have.
Now, everybody kind of points when there's a pile, but the referee's the only one that matters.
Colerain Cardinals are clapping,
Second
it's
down.
second down. Malik Van completely blew that play.
That was impressive.
He almost bench pressed the center
Yeah,
into the quarterback.
He's just incredible.
Well, he's got a great, you know what, for a big guys are strong, and we know he can run. It's that first step.
Yeah.
He has got that quick first step that if you don't have the timing right, he's just going to blow it up.
So DSM is coming out of the game, maybe an equipment issue, and Ivan Pace coming in to fulfill his spot here, maybe only for one play. So second down and 11, I think. Loss of 1 on the play. People think, they hear somebody's committed to UC. We'll get to that in just a second. Man in motion. Oh, here we go.
Well, here's the thing.
They got man.
The reason some of these plays is him being a physical freak. I mean, in a good way, not a bad way.
Right.
Like, he's been fantastic. Other plays have been him. He's trying to anticipate where they're going. He's looking at the play clock, waiting for the clock to jump when it's at 0. That time, jumps a little bit early.
Yep.
Yeah, they run that false motion and the little stutter step by J.J. Davis in the backfield. And I said,
And unfortunately for Malik Van, they have to snap the football
Yep.
before he can cross
So
the
he
line.
jumped across line, 5-yard penalty against Fairfield.
2nd and 6.
Snap is back. Gunner passes it out to Sincere Jones with a nasty
I told
stiff
you.
arm. Stays on his feet, stays in bounds. He makes 3 Fairfield guys miss before he takes it down into the red zone. First down, Colerain Cardinals.
And the thing
He's
is,
wicked.
And the thing about Sincere is both him and Javon you have to use in the moment because you're playing them both ways. They're 2 star quarterbacks. So J.J. Davis is going to be your workhorse. But
Yeah.
you pick your spots with Sincere, and we saw it there. Sincere taking the quick single pass, and again, Javon Hicks.
This is ridiculous. Think about this, boys. There's 8 minutes left in the game. The clock is rolling. If they score here, you're talking about putting a running clock on Fairfield at Fairfield. I did not, in any set of circumstances, think that would be the situation. Gunner under center. Takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, runs around the end, picks up positive yards. He's got 4 Indians around him, but he puts 2 hands around the ball. And he's going to take it very close to a first down. If he didn't get it, it's 2nd and 1. I think they're at the 11-yard line. The Fairfield side, let's just say, is thinning and has been.
Thanks to everybody listening at home. A shout out to Dr. Death, Eric
Right.
Ornella.
There you go. So 2nd down and 1 at the 11-yard line of Fairfield. Colerain threatening again.
They're lined up. They're letting the clock run.
Yep, a smart move. Gunner drops back to counter, this time to Sincere Jones. Takes it right across the middle. Initial wrap-up by 54.
Dale Thomas has been all over the place for the
Yeah.
Fairfield Indians. And he made a nice play there.
Yep.
Yeah, give another shout-out here in the live chat, Chris Walker. Joining the Colerain Boosters. So thank you, Chris Walker, for joining the Colerain Boosters, wearing his Colerain gear proudly
I'll tell you
in
what.
Houston, Texas.
And you know what? Thinking
of
about it,
93, baby.
Chris Walker's down there during the big floods down there in Texas. We worried about him a lot about it. He was gone for a couple days, so good to hear from him. And we got the wildfires out there with Mr. Lopez. So, and Colerain causing havoc on the field tonight.
And I would be remiss if Aunt Kathy is listening. Right, if she's still
Oh,
listening.
so we got to clean it up?
No, I would be remiss as
Yeah.
we get a quick play here. Handoff DSM straight up the middle, down to the 1-yard line. If Aunt Kathy is still listening, I would be remiss if I didn't send the love for my grandmother,
Absolutely.
Grandma Rita, my grandmother. Her and Aunt Kathy are good friends. They're in a widows club together, so
That's awesome.
I'm sure that she would appreciate a shout-out from my grandmother to Aunt Kathy. So.
In comes the jumbo package with Luke Bolden, Dan Bolden. DSM comes off the field. I think Ivan Pace went in. So they're sitting on the 1-yard line now. It is 2nd down. Let's see if the Cardinals can impose their will. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace Jr. Lowers his head into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a running clock at Fairfield Stadium. This is an absolute clinic by this team. What did Coach Bolden say in his post-game huddle so many weeks ago? He made it a point. To be the man, you have to beat the man.
It's
and to
all
date,
about attitude.
no one has beaten
all
the
about
man.
X's and O's.
Okay, no, that's not what he said. What he said was to be the man, you have to beat the man.
Extra
Fairfield has
point
come
said
up
they
short
could fake
tonight.
it here. Nope, they don't fake it. Extra point is up. And it's good. And at the 5:15 mark of the fourth quarter, it's the Colerain Cardinals 38. The Fairfield Indians 6.
And not only directing the play on field, I wish we could get a shot of that. Coach Bolden runs the track, and the CARD flags. Coach Bolden's even directing the cheerleaders where to go tonight.
You got to imagine Coach Bolden and his staff very excited. I'm sure when they put on the tape and they saw the defensive and offensive stars that Fairfield brings to the table, they knew they had their work cut out for them, and no doubt they looked at these young men during the week and I'm sure said something along the lines of, hey, they want your title. They want your championship. Are you going to let them take it? Or are you going to go out there and play Colerain football and defend the streak? And that's exactly what they've done tonight.
And we saw it. That whole first half, Fairfield won that first half.
No
except
question.
for that last play. They won that first half.
Yep.
To come
Time
out
up
here
yep.
and completely
Dominating. They've dominated this site. And this is the second week in a row. Remember, last week, Lakota East came to Colerain and was leading 13-10 at halftime. We made a note last week, first time in several years since Colerain has even just been trailing at halftime, and then came out in the second half and outscored, and figure out the math here for me, Brandon, outscored Lakota East last week 28-0 to win that game last week, 38-13. Tonight they went into halftime, I think, up 17-6.
21-0 here in the second half.
And there's still almost 6 minutes left to play. Although you have to presume probably the scoring is done now. They're going to go to a
you never know. Fairfield might add one with this.
Well, this is when you want to keep your team healthy. So I suspect a lot of the starters will be out.
Yeah, absolutely. The game is no longer in question in terms of the outcome. You wouldn't think. Still plenty of time, 6 minutes left, but there's the kickoff taken at the 5-yard line. Running sideways up to the 10, maybe not the best decisions. Cuts back up to the 15. Boy, that was impressive.
It's Raekwon Williams.
Takes it out to about the 25 is where they're going to mark it?
He was running at about the 15, and there was about 7 white shirts around him.
And he just put on the brakes.
He just
put
stopped.
on the brakes, ran the other way. He maybe only got to about the 30, 25-yard line.
But he was dead at the 15.
He should have only got to the 15.
Right. Yeah, they got dudes. There's no doubt about it.
A couple other score updates. 35-7 West leads Middletown. St. X. Nope, that's St. X in Kentucky. Wrong. St. X. Elder, Winton Woods tied at 21 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, my goodness. How about that? That's a big game. That's a big Harbin game, folks. That Elder Winton Woods game, that's a big game. Snap is back to Tyus. He's looking. He's got some time. Colerain not sending a whole lot. Looking to throw. It's a short pass.
They picked. Oh,
not sure.
Nice catch by All.
Yeah, All was right there,
Yep.
along with that was Jakari Patterson.
Looks like it was
in coverage. They both dove for the ball, but good catch.
Up to the 35-yard line. We'll call it an 8-yard pass completion for Jeff Tyus.
Also in the fourth quarter, St. Ignatius trails Moeller 26-20.
Ooh, coming back on him. So a gain of 8 on that play. Second down and 2.
Snap is back to Tyus. He's gone to an all-passing offense now. He's looking. He's got some time. Scrambling. Throws it across the middle of the field. It is caught. Staying in bounds. Taken all the way down to the Colerain, we'll say the 45-yard line. So big pass completion for the Indians.
I take Colerain with some substitutions, and your 6'4" quarterback was hit as he throwed by, I'm digging it up right now. Willie Finch playing middle linebacker.
Willie Finch.
How big is Willie Finch?
Yeah, you're right. There's wholesale substitutions on the defense now.
Basically everyone but the secondary for the Colerain Cardinals.
Right.
Yeah, Willie Finch at 5'4", 157 pounds. It's
There's a catch completion, I believe. Is that number 9?
Yep.
He caught it in between 2 receivers and took it all the way to the end zone for a touchdown for Fairfield. So
Fairfield's not done yet. I mean, you had your starters and defensive back, but really that wasn't much pressure on there. It was a quick hitter, quick slant between the safety and the cornerback. Jakari Patterson runs into, I believe that was Deshaun Pace. Split the defenders and takes it the distance.
Do they go for 2?
Mathematically, I don't.
They are going for 2.
They're going to. No, I'm sure they're not going to go
No,
for
the
2.
kicker's on there.
Oh, I just saw Tyus.
Yeah, quarterback looks like he's going to be the holder.
Tyus has got to be 6'9".
No,
maybe
he's
8
6'4".
feet tall.
He's 6 foot.
He might be 8 feet tall.
Listed in the program as 6'13".
Snap is back, holds down, kick is up, and kick is no good.
At the 4:09 mark of the fourth quarter, it's the Colerain Cardinals 38, the Fairfield Indians 12. Other score updates.
He can't
Mason
catch a break, man.
on top of Princeton 14-0. As we speak, Elder scores. They lead Whitten Woods 28-21.
How much time left in that game?
9.5 minutes.
Oh, lots of time left in that game. Okay.
Mount Healthy leads Northwest 10-7. Apparently, this Bittner kid for Elder is pretty good.
Well, they've been the fan base is he didn't start off the year as the quarterback, and the fan base has been kind of clamoring for him to take over the quarterback duties at Elder, and there's no doubt about it. Elder kind of stumbled out of the gate the first 3-4 weeks of the season, but they have turned it on. There's no doubt about it. Elder is probably not a team we want to see in the first week, and if they can beat Whitten Woods, honestly, I'll take a minute to talk about Harbin's here. If they can beat Whitten Woods, they've got a school from Florida that's coming up that is not good, and just because they're from Florida doesn't mean they're good. They're terrible.
It's like a Division 5 charter school.
Right, they're terrible. So Elder's going to blow the doors off their Florida opponent next week, and then they've got LaSalle in the last week of the season, as they always tend to do. And if they can win that game, Elder could propel themselves up to a 4 or 5 seed. Which again, let's keep something in mind here. Colerain's going to win this game. They're going to more than likely, and I mean more than 98%, they're going to be the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And why is that? Because St. X is steamrolling people, and they're the number 1 seed, without a doubt. There's no question. That's locked in for St. X. But the good news is that puts the Cardinals and the Bombers at opposite ends of the bracket.
Colerain had their hands team in, just popped up. J.J. Davis, the only one back, so
he's going to take it.
Yeah,
and
does the smart
about
thing.
3 yards.
No blockers in front of him. Just kind of dances around. Nothing there. Just kind of sits down at the 25-yard line.
And there are flags now all over the place for some unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't see nobody got thrown or anything. So somebody said something.
83.
Oh, is that all? Did he open his mouth again? Because he was doing it all the first half too.
A little unfortunate news. I think it's like Chris Oates, the star linebacker from Whitten Woods, did get hurt in that game. So that makes it even more interesting.
Oh no, that's terrible. Hate to see a kid get hurt. He's quite a talent.
Wayne leads Fairmont 28-21 in the fourth quarter. Up north, Solon.
So it is a dead ball personal foul, so that'll 15 yards added that to return.
The Solon Comets.
Against Fairfield. Yep.
Solon Comets lead the Mentor Cardinals 27-23.
Wow. Solon. I think it's Solon.
According to Drew Carey, it's Solon.
Just Solon Comets. So 15 yards added on to that run for the Colerain Cardinals because of the personal foul against Fairfield will set them up first down and 10 at their own 40-yard line. We have a new quarterback in there?
Yes, we do. Deontay Smith-Moore reads the option, keeps it himself, finds a little bit of a seam. Nice read, picks up 4.
New quarterback. That means, and we get a whole bunch of substitutions. Tosh Roberts checks out on the line.
57, 63, and 13 all coming in.
That's Jacob Davis. Well, we got 53. Mason Hill.
Yep.
63 is
Jonathan Hudson.
Jonathan Hudson is one of those guys who comes in as the second tight end.
We do have a Fairfield player down, so an injury timeout.
We also have in, since DSM has switched to quarterback, in at fullback, number 29, Hamaz Abdul-Wahid.
Is that what it says on the roster?
Yeah, Hamaz Abdul-Wahid.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because you made a comment a couple weeks
ago.
The
old roster, the original roster we had just said Hamaz Abdul.
Brandon always roots hard for Colerain to get a big lead because it is his goal in the game to pronounce that man's name.
He nails it every time.
The good thing about Hamaz, you know why I love his name, is because it reminds me of NBA Jam. on the Vancouver Grizzlies, they had a player named
the obscure reference.
They had a player named Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Played for the Grizzlies in the NBA for a couple years.
Wow. Sharif.
That kind of cadence of the way the name comes off.
I remember when he played. I remember getting drafted out of college. Listen to you. There was some dude. Yeah, I remember him. Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
It just rolls off the tongue the same way. I love it.
Yeah, so play clock didn't look like it was set right away. Colerain.
This is the worst. All the offensive linemen are set. Everyone else can relax, but the offensive linemen have got to wait this whole time.
They got down at 24, and then they started the clock.
There we go. Snap is back. There's a handoff right over the middle. Fullback's got it. He's still on his feet. Takes it out to about the 47-yard line, so it'll be third down.
And Hamaz Abdul-Wahid with the 3 yards on the play sets up 3 yards to go on third down.
Nick Bartini comes in the ball game as a wide receiver. typically your holder.
Again, I want to give a shout out to everybody listening. Thank you so much for making tonight's broadcast part of your Friday evening. Could not be more happy that you chose to do so. Deontay Smith-Moore under center.
Watching the play clock, running it all the way down.
Absolutely. Take that ball now, fakes the handoff, keeps himself and pitches it to Sincere Jones, who once again makes another stiff arm, picks up another first down. So the clock will stop to move the chains, but more importantly, we got the first down.
That was one where he got the first down, and you're like, just go down. Don't try to make a play. Just go down. Don't get hurt.
I'll tell you what, Sincere's impressive with that stiff arm. He's done it several times tonight.
I know, but just
doesn't have a lot of weight behind him, but very strong upper body. And you're right, with his height, a smaller defensive back can't get on him with the thug mug.
If you
obscure,
how about that reference?
I wasn't going to say that. You can see the Fairfield defense. I mean, 6 of those 11 guys have their hands on their hips. They're
there's
tired.
also a couple substitutions out there. Malik Van is no longer on the ball game.
Right.
Del
Sincere
Thomas.
Jones in motion. There's the handoff right over the middle to the fullback. Going to pick up about 2 yards on the play.
Hamaz Abdul-Wahid on the carry.
Easy for you to say.
Del Thomas is no longer in the game.
Billy Cromwell in the ball game.
Yeah, you got a wholesale substitutions really for both teams.
And speaking of that, we're getting kind of a preview. If you guys aren't doing anything tomorrow, Colerain High School, 10 o'clock. Come back and watch these JV players. They support the varsity here on Friday night. Let's support them tomorrow, 10 a.m. at Colerain High School.
Yeah, let me take a minute. I'm glad you said that because earlier this week, yesterday in fact, the freshman team played as they do on Thursdays, and Colerain beat Fairfield 14-0. Now you may think, oh, well, that's nice. The Baby Birds pulled out a victory. Let me tell you why that's significant. Fairfield was undefeated on the season. They were undefeated as freshmen, obviously not the same group of kids, but their freshman team was undefeated all in 2016. They hadn't seen a loss at the freshman level since 2015, and the Cardinals delivered it to them yesterday, 14-0. The Baby Birds 6-2 on the year.
Couple shout-outs.
Baby Birds?
Yeah, the
whatever.
Freshmen. That's
Whatever.
Okay.
The Baby Birds.
All right,
whatever. Just let him go. Mike Rourke, thanks for listening.
Mike, the man.
Couple score updates. Wayne and Fairmont are tied at 28 with 5 minutes to play.
Wow.
So 3rd down and 7.
Look at Brian. Isn't he cute? He keeps commenting the game.
Well, people are listening. They got to know what's going on.
Deontay Smith takes it, fakes it, keeps it himself. He's going to stay
First
on
down.
his feet and get another first down to the Fairfield 26-yard line. So they just keep moving the ball, and the clock stops at 1:02 to move the chains.
And now
here it comes.
Into the game, Donovan Toney.
Number 87 for the Colerain Cardinals checking into the game.
Donovan Toney's going to line up deep.
Tom Bolton giving him direct instruction as the Colerain Cardinals, after getting that first down, now line up in victory formation.
And I tell you what, the biggest crowd of the night, you don't usually hear individual names mentioned from the Colerain student section, but we just heard the chant of Donovan when he's out there. So
special story, Donovan. He's a special kid. I'm glad he could be out there to get some varsity snaps, getting some high fives from J.J. Javis, Deontay Smith-Moore.
That was got to be the most excited I've seen DSM all night, as the refs will not set it down. That will be the final play here. Clock will expire. 12 seconds to play. As finally we can get out of this shot onto the field. Here we go. Play is over.
Careful, the tape came off.
That's okay. He's holding.
Final. Here from Colerain for Fairfield High School. Colerain 38, Fairfield 12.
Huge game for the Colerain Cardinals on defense and special teams. The offense looked good. They came back on the everything looked to be going south until Javon Hicks picked off a pass in the end zone at the end of the first half and went 104 yards for the interception return. Cardinals went into halftime up 17-6 and then absolutely dominated the second half from beginning to end and moved to 6-0 in the conference, 6-2 overall, and now are in the catbird seat as the only undefeated team left in the GMC, with the eyes on 18, looking to win their 18th consecutive, think about that, 18th consecutive GMC championship. Now the streak stands at 65 consecutive GMC victories.
Tell us where we're playing next week, Chris.
Next week, the Colerain Cardinals return home, taking on the Lakota West Thunder Fire Hawkbirds. Firebirds, thank you, I couldn't remember. The Lakota West Firebirds, who I believe won tonight.
They're on the verge of winning.
On the verge of winning, so they'll be picking up their second win of the year. The Cardinals will, next week is special, not necessarily because it's Lakota West.
Follow that, Brandon.
It's special because it's senior night. And you're going to get to see a whole lot about what We Are Colerain is right now. Don't tune out just yet.
Wait, Chris, let me turn you down. Let's see if we can pick this up on the M.
Do it. Coach Bolden. Coach Bolden echoing exactly what we talked about a few minutes ago, saying to be the man, you got to beat the man, and the man is still here. It's that old saying, here, meet the new boss, same as the old boss, and that is the Colerain Cardinals. So for Brian and Brandon Wyatt here at Fairfield Stadium, the Colerain Cardinals are victorious, and they move on 38-12. See ya at home next week. Final regular season home game of the year against Lakota West.